Nations Championship, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania 2024, which will be staged from 2nd to 30th August 2025. Amongst the 4 groups in the tournament A to D, Kenya is pooled in Group A, together with Morocco, Angola, DR Congo and Zambia.
Algeria from the set piece, the header is on target, but it's...
This unique competition featuring the best locally based players from across the continent definitely has something for everyone. Just bring your A game as you let it flow live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
A very warm welcome to Good Morning Kenya. My name is Marie Yambo, and being Thursday, this is Entertainment Thursday. We have a lot lined up for you. My colleagues are in studio. I'll be introducing them in just a short while, but I'll be bringing you news in just a short while where the court orders the Aga Khan Hospital and a doctor to pay 157 million shillings to a patient after 18 years of legal battle, and Parliament clears 7 nominees for appointment as IBC commissioners. Civil activists question a proposal in the Finance Bill 2025 seeking to allow the taxman direct access to personal mobile money data. And a boost for creative industry in Kenya, where American-based production company Invention Studios to set base here in Kenya. Details of all that will be coming your way in this particular bulletin. But right about now, I want to introduce my colleague, that is Mike Migwi. How are you?
I'm very fine. How are you doing, Marie?
Yes, take it away. Nimeamka salama, lakini niko hapa studio. Exactly.
But anyway, welcome back to Entertainment Thursday. This is, you know, Thursday has become the new Friday, and today is actually a new Friday. Whereas tomorrow, of course, there's no work. Welcome to the program. Of course, the show is packed and already lined up for you. Later on, we'll be looking at something a little bit different, touches on the budget and the finance bill of 2025. Does it meet the expectations of Kenyans, and more especially the youth? That is a conversation that will be coming up right after the news. But before we get to that, DJ Unique.
Yo.
Uko aje?
Niko best. After coming from a long weekend, na tena kesho tena naingia kuna another long weekend.
Unajua, Kenyans have become the most lucky lot in this world. 2 weeks with long weekends, 2 consecutive weeks.
Yeah.
That is not something you get every day.
God akona sisi.
Hey, so what's in stock for us today?
Kama kawa kama dawa, new music all the way.
Yeah.
Actually, for the past 1 week, wasanii kujikakamua muno sana.
Yes.
They've released a lot of songs. Like I'll just mention a few of them. I have a list of new songs that have been released.
Yes.
But I'll just go through. Zingine takuwa na play tukiendelea na show, au sio?
Yes.
Kuna Calligraph Jones, he has a new song inaitwa On the Real.
Okay.
Very beautiful song. Shekina Karen, Nadia Mukami featuring Benso. This song you have Nadia Mukami, Benso, is a very beautiful song inaitwa Overdose. Very beautiful song. Lady JD pia amerudi, he has a new song.
Oh yes, Lady JD.
Umepatana na, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Arrow Boy, kuna pia these guys, these are artists wa kitambo wameanza kurelease muziki of late sana.
Yes.
So for me, I'm buying that idea. So let's continue to be releasing songs.
Yes.
And as we continue to stay tuned, I'll be taking you through those songs tukiendelea na show. I'll see you.
Sasa DJ, sijui kama uko na drum rolls. Because for the first time on Entertainment Thursday, drum rolls bado in a roll, eh?
In a roll. In spirit.
Yes, we have another presenter. Her name is Eve Nyaga, introducing the one and only Karibu sana.
Good morning.
Morning, Sigo, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Welcome to the morning.
Thank you so much for having me. You know, this is not usual for me kuamka mapema, but I had to be here with the team. And of course, I'm standing in for my girl, Vivian Degwa. My name is Eve Nyaga. I'm so excited to be here on Entertainment Thursday. And we have a lot in store for you, the way Mike has said. Yeah, today we are expecting an Iranian storyteller. We have thespians coming through. And of course, we have an artist by the name Mora. People who are doing amazing things in the entertainment scene. So stick around for that. And of course, Ms. Kia, it's a long weekend alert. So this is definitely the perfect way for you to kickstart your long weekend. Yeah.
You know, I keep telling them it's Thursdays is the only time we get into their personal space. But before we get to that aspect, I think Marie should take over with the news. Then we shall come back with more. Marie.
Thank you, Mike, and a warm welcome to you, Eve.
Thank you.
To Good Morning Kenya. You can be rest assured you'll be entertained, even as you present the Entertainment Thursday. You'll enjoy the show, you'll enjoy the crew. And forgive Eve, you know, if you hear the alarm go off. I was hearing this alarm go off. I think it's the confusion of whether she's supposed to have woken up at what time. You know, you're still struggling to get... some of us are so used to... We have a phobia for sleeping, Mike, We have a kind of a phobia for sleeping. So, ikifika tu saa 10 hivi, whether you like it or not, you're up already.
Yes, whether you're coming to work or not.
Yes, exactly. You know, so if you'll get used to it, don't worry.
Thank you.
Yes, so karibu sana. Yes, Sante. So let me take you through with the news where the Aga Khan Hospital and a doctor have been ordered to pay a patient 157 million shillings for medical negligence. In the landmark ruling, Justice Alexander Muteti stated that the hospital and the doctor were grossly negligent in the performance of duty, occasioning the patient Naila Qureshi a life-changing injury and trauma by removing her cervix without her consent. Muteti said the special damages pleaded by Naila were specifically proved during the 18-year-long trial of the case. Ruth Wamboy reports on that case, which dates back to 2007 and has since been presided over by a total of 10 judges. Let's take a look.
Wednesday at Milimani's High Court Criminal Division, Naila Qureshi awaited the culmination of her 2-decade quest for justice journey following surgeries gone wrong. The surgeries done in 2005 and 2006 left her unable to give birth anymore. On these 2 years, the Aga Khan Hospital, through Dr. Rafik Paka, is said to have unskillfully performed medical procedures that damaged Naila's cervix and ruined her life forever. Delivering the judgment, Justice Alexander Muteti stated that the hospital and the doctors were negligent in performing their duties. The judge said that after a critical analysis, he had concluded that Naila only consented to the removal of her uterus and ovary, but they went ahead to remove her cervix without obtaining a necessary consent. The court further averred that following the injuries, it has proved that Naila lost her job on medical grounds. The judge further ordered that the costs and the interest be given to Naila and her husband at court rates from the date the suit was filed. The court also ruled that the Aga Khan Hospital breached the contract by allowing Dr. Rafik Paka to practice in the hospital, knowing too well that he had been barred from practice in Uganda.
In the judicial processes in Kenya, that people can believe again that might take long because of the bureaucracies of the moment, but at the end, certainly, justice gets to calm down. Well, naturally, it's within their right under the law to appeal the decision of court. If they appealed, we will naturally be obligated to defend the appeal, defend the gains that this judgment presents not only for my client, but for the jurisprudence in the field of medical negligence in Kenya.
A delighted Naila said the long wait for justice was worth it.
It has been a rough road for me, but then the RRI system came in and my case was in court for 18 years. And after 18 years, I got justice and victory.
After 2 decades, numerous adjournments, patience and despair for Naila, finally justice has been delivered for Naila, a first of its kind for medical negligence in Kenya. Ruth Wamboi reporting from Milimani's High Court.
Thank you, Ruth Wamboi. We move on where the National Treasury is seeking Parliament's approval to securitize 12 shillings of the Road Levy Maintenance Fund to access necessary funds to settle pending bills. Currently, the government has securitized 7 shillings of the Road Maintenance Levy Fund and accessed at least 62 billion shillings for contractors owed by road agencies.
Appearing before the National Assembly Public Debt and Privatization Committee, Treasury Principal Secretary Chris Kipto defended the government's strategy to borrow using future revenues to be collected under the Road Maintenance Levy Fund, saying it provided essential funds required to restart road construction projects that had halted due to lack of funds.
Along the way, we had this initiative that came on securitizing the 7 shillings of the RMLF, which was increased last year. And that went through the process with cabinet approval. Of course, it has to still come to Parliament. And I think we have referred also to 12 shillings in this, which means there is an additional 5 shillings being proposed also to be accommodated, so that a total of 12 shillings will be ring-fenced.
To enhance the clearance of debts, Treasury seeks to securitize an extra 5 shillings on top of the 7 shillings to reduce the funding cost of road projects. MPs, however, are concerned that securitization is only increasing the loans and debt burden.
My specific question is, what is the cost of this loan? Are there commitment fees?
And therefore, if a contract was worth, let's say, like $1 billion, by the time the contract is executed, we'll have paid like $2 billion. So the very essence of borrowing that money is now put into jeopardy. It's of no use.
The issue of securitization is one that is a new phenomena. We haven't really had this before. And in situations where we haven't had a lot of work, especially in the road sector, initiatives came up, and this is one of them that came from the sector, to say it is also possible that we could ring-fence part of the money to jumpstart the road sector.
The Public Debt Committee is also concerned about the cost of the loans the government is obtaining using the levy fund. Treasury is expected to reappear to explain measures it's taken to deal with the payment of commitment fees for loans that are yet to be unutilized.
Still in Parliament, the National Assembly has approved a report seeking the appointment of 7 individuals to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Justice and Legal Affairs Committee Chairperson, that is George Murugara, while presenting the report on Wednesday, said that Erastus Edung Ethekon approved to serve as the chairperson, and the 6 members met the suitability criteria and fit to serve in the commission. Murugara said Ethekon had assured the committee that he had the spine to deal with elections. Kamucha Menza tells us more.
Erastus Edung Ethekon.
3 days after holding the approval hearings for the nominees for IEBC chairperson and members, the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee has approved the appointment of all the nominees and tabled its report.
But I hope every member has the chance to read this report, to acquaint himself or herself with it, so that you know the reasons why the committee has made a recommendation that we approve the 7 nominees.
The committee defended its position, saying all objections raised by the public were addressed. Considering the report, MPs urged the commission to uphold integrity.
We want you to carry the image of this republic. We want you to continue to project the respect the Kenyan people through this parliament have allowed you.
Najua hino kazi na mitihani mingi sana, lakini nawaombea Mungu inshallah wakati ambapo utafika wa kuanza kufanya kazi zao, wao wanaweza kulindwa na Mwenyezi Mungu na wasimame na haki na usawa.
To speak to those out there who are looking at these people on the basis of their ethnicities, on the basis of the villages they come from, let me tell them, you will never win an election on the basis of who is presiding over that election. You win elections based on what agenda you take to the people.
As members of that opinion, aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Their swearing in, however, still hangs in the balance following a court ruling. Meanwhile, Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi now says the government is working on a plan to ease the tax burden on Kenyans in the upcoming financial year, including the controversial housing levy, whose implementation has faced growing public backlash.
I think there is a discussion around seeing how to restructure it, because, again, it has serious benefits, in my view. Quite a number of projects are coming up, but at the same time, the individual employees, those with pay slips, have complaints, which you cannot ignore.
Mbadi also revealed that internal reforms at the Kenya Revenue Authority are underway, aimed at enhancing efficiency and sealing revenue leaks.
Let us see what the reforms at KRA, in terms of automation and in terms of making it efficient, is yielding to us. Then we can now move to the next step of reducing the tax rates to increase disposable income. But
he spoke when he appeared before the Senate, maintaining that tax regularization would only follow after KRA demonstrates consistent performance in meeting its revenue targets.
Chairmans are reporting there. Let's go to the corridors of justice, where 5 suspects implicated in the murder case of Kasipul Member of Parliament Charles Ongondo Were will remain in custody and undergo mental assessment before taking plea. Their directions were issued by different judges on Wednesday at the Milimani and Kibra law courts in Nairobi. Were was shot dead on Wednesday, the April 30th, 2025, near the City Mortuary roundabout on Ngong Road in Nairobi County.
At the Milimani Criminal Division, 2 suspects Isaac Kuria and the late Charles Were's bodyguard Alan Omondi Ogola appeared virtually before Justice Margaret Muigai. The court directed that both undergo a mental assessment before they can take a plea. Justice Muigai further ordered that they be provided legal representation, either privately or through a state assistance. The case will be mentioned on Wednesday, June 18th, 2025, for further directions. 3 other suspects, William Imoli Shigali alias Aimo, Edwin Oduor Odhiambo alias Muchani, and Abel Ochieng alias Dave Kolo, were arraigned at the Kibera High Court, but could not take plea to the charges until mental assessments are completed. Justice Diana Kavetsa ordered the trio to be detained at the Nairobi Remand Prison for 14 days to allow for evaluation at Mathare National Teaching and Referral Hospital. One of the accused will be held in isolation following security concern raised in court.
I want you to say his words, exact words. What did the suspect say?
He said,
Can you show me the person who uttered those words?
I heard those words myself personally.
Yes.
The gentleman in the white shirt.
Bail was denied for all 3 suspects due to alleged threats made against the prosecution team.
As the chair of the CUC, it's my duty to ensure that your rights are not violated and that you do not violate the rights of others. The mere utterance of the words "huyu tutamua" has frightened the prosecutor out of this court. The question is, how about the witnesses? It is on that ground alone that the three of you will be denied bail at this juncture.
The matter is scheduled for mention on Tuesday, June 17, 2025.
Defense.
And a magistrate court has dismissed claims by Mumias East Member of Parliament Peter Salasia that he was tortured while in custody. Principal Magistrate Paul Mutai ruled that the court lacks jurisdiction to release exhibits at this stage and directed the case to proceed to pre-trial on Wednesday, June 18, 2025.
Under the circumstances, I find no evidence to show that his rights as contemplated under Section 25NB were violated and the application by defense stand dismissed.
Salasia was charged with hate speech on Monday, May 19, 2025, and was released on a cash bail of 200,000 Kenya shillings.
Letua Deborah reporting there, and that report by Letua brings us to the business news, where Parliament is proposing major budgetary realignments targeting more social programs. In its revised 2025-26 fiscal year budget estimates, the Budget and Appropriations Committee has trimmed the national budget to 4.2 trillion shillings, a slight drop from the previous year's 4.3 trillion. Shillings. The estimates report, which was tabled in the National Assembly on Wednesday afternoon, now heads to the floor of the House next week, where members are expected to debate the proposed estimates.
In a shift aimed at reining in public debt and prioritizing development, the Budget and Appropriation Committee has proposed a 4.2 trillion shillings budget for the financial year beginning July 1st. Out of this, 1.8 trillion shillings has been allocated to recurrent expenditure covering salaries, government operations, and ongoing programs. Development expenditure channeled towards infrastructure and long-term investments stands at 707.8 billion shillings. The committee has outlined various measures aimed at fiscal consolidation, prudent spending, and targeted investments. Overall government spending is capped at 2.53 trillion shillings, with the Kenya Revenue Authority tasked with collecting 3.3 trillion shillings in total revenue, including ordinary revenue and appropriation in aid. Education takes the largest portion of the budget, receiving 701.1 billion shillings, accounting for 28.1% of the entire budget. Energy, infrastructure, and ICT sectors have been allocated a combined total of 500.7 billion shillings, the second highest share, while the health sector is expected to receive 136.8 billion shillings. The agriculture sector will get 78 billion shillings, with 8 billion shillings earmarked for the fertilizer subsidy program. The executive will control the bulk of the budget at 2.497 trillion shillings. Allocation to Parliament stands at 47.9 billion shillings, while the Judiciary and the Judicial Service Commission will receive 27.7 billion shillings. On debt repayment, the Parliamentary Committee is proposing a total of 1.337 trillion shillings to be used to repay debts. Counties are set to receive an equitable share of 405.1 billion shillings if the proposals of the Budget Committee sail through. The National Assembly is expected to debate the budget estimates ahead of the formal budget presentation on Thursday next week.
And the National Treasury plans to employ additional pension officers to audit existing pension claims and fast-track payouts. Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi says the government and private agencies will be required to pay accrued pensions as fast charge.
According to the Controller of Budget, the government owes retirees 108 billion shillings in unpaid pensions and gratuities. The National Treasury is now blaming the pension accumulation on paperwork that has increased fraud cases in the pension sector. Mbadi says a contractor has already been procured to create an automated pension management system.
That's very important for the people that vote for me to come to this house to know that when they serve the public and eventually they retire, then they will receive their pension at the next month.
When you allow manual systems, it is open to abuse, and we have also identified that some pensioners have been defrauded through collusion, even between pension staff and also the bank staff.
To reduce pension backlog, accrued pension will be paid as first charge.
The Treasury is committed to ensuring that pension obligations are fully funded and liquidity challenges are minimized. And to achieve this, prioritization of pension payments. Pension payments are treated as a first charge.
Additional pension officers will be employed in the next financial year to hasten pension claims, with a multi-agency team set to carry out forensic audit on existing pension claims before the payments are made.
Strict pension verification procedures that it's being instituted, and this will help us reduce errors, fraudulent submissions, and unauthorized payment.
In efforts to clear pension payment backlogs, a receivership team has been put up to auction KCC and poster pension funds to pay off retirees.
RBA has already put up receivers in place to work out on how to pay these creditors, along which part of the creditors are former employees.
A look at sports now, where the successful hosting of the delayed 2024 Africa Nations Championship will set the stage for the promising 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. This was affirmed yesterday during the unveiling of Tecno as the official mobile phone for the 2024 CHAN and 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. The 8th edition of the Africa Nations Championship CHAN is set to be co-hosted by the East African nations, that is Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania, before they co-host the AFCON finals in 2027.
2024 African Nations Championship CHAN will act as a marker for Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania, who have affirmed their commitment to hosting a successful championship. The Confederation of Africa Football General Secretary Veron Omba challenged the East African countries to put their best foot forward, even as he assured that the 2025 championship will be of high quality, reflecting the African football standards.
The Pamoza was awarded, and it creates a huge interest for the people, because to combine football and this part of the continent is something incredible. So we are looking forward to this competition here in the beautiful part of the continent.
Meanwhile, CAF has unveiled Tecno as the official mobile phone for the 2024 African Nations Championship CHAN and the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations, in a partnership that's expected to bridge the digital divide and enable easy access of matches to millions of football fans across the continent.
There are a lot of value together. Both of us have a lot of commitment to this continent, and both of us want to support the youth to getting their dream come true. So I think it's very unique, the uniqueness between the cooperation between Tecno and CAF.
In readiness for the championship, Kenya has intensified its preparations for the finals by upgrading Nyayo National Stadium in Kasarani, as well as renovating training facilities like Ulinzi, Kirigiti and Police Sacco. Uganda is upgrading Nakivubo Stadium and constructing new venues in Lira and Hoima, while Tanzania is renovating Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Dar es Salaam and constructing new facilities in Arusha and Dodoma.
Well, and that story by Bernard Okumu brings us to the end of the news this morning. Thank you so much, as always, for your company. My name is Maria, and of course, Mike Megwe is already in studio together with the guests on the segment Youth and Governance. You'll get to hear more from him, but right about now, let's take a break.
Kanipaka mafuta halafu akaniambia niziepuse na saitani.
Na ukakubali?
Si hiyo nitakubali. Wewe unaweza kataa masani.
Wewe.
Paka
mafuta Wewe sikia.
Kwani alikuwa kupakwa mafuta akipigwa.
Sasa si vile nilisikia ati anatolewa mapepo.
Ulipakwa mafuta mwili mzima? Mwili mzima. Na nikaambiwa nisioge mpaka maombi ifike mbinguni.
Kawera.
Yes.
Uliingia hiyo kanisa? Ndio unitoe sabiu.
Wewe.
Ukampaka mafuta. Huyo ni mama.
Which side are you Pacific?
Wewe. Kila kona.
The men and women in boats. They are commanded to defend and protect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Republic of Kenya. Their bravery knows no limits.
Make a man go through the wall without breaking the wall.
Laziness. It is not in our vocabulary.
But what are their stories, their tales? Military Tales, every Saturday at 9 p.m. with Ben Troy Njoe.
Indeed, you're watching Good Morning Kenya. This is Entertainment Thursday. Na unajua, every Thursday we have a segment, Youth and Governance, where we talk about everything to do with governance. And today, the focus will be on the Finance Bill 2025. Remember that next week is the time that the budget will be read. And we just want to get a feel of the expectations of the youth regarding the finance bill and the budget at large. So that is a conversation that we are going to have right about now. Philip Mushiri is an associate tax advisory and compliance tax consultant. Yes. Karibu sana.
Thank you so
Welcome
much.
to KBC.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for making time.
Yes.
We also have Ryan Injendi Malulu, who is a research and policy analyst. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Uko salama asubuhi ya leo?
Niko salama sana.
Kabisa.
Nashukuru Mungu.
Let's delve right into it. And I'll start with you, Ryan. Yeah. What do you think of the proposed finance bill of 2025-2026?
Basically, the finance bill 2025-2026 has been a good bill, and evidently there's been no mandamano, there's been no so much fuse from the young Kenyans. So in a nutshell, I can say that the proposals in the budget are quite progressive. They have much focus on the youth, and basically the government is focusing on health and agriculture, which has been given much emphasis in the bill, in the proposed estimates and everything. So evidently from whatever from the public participation and from the ministry, the counties, I can say it's a fair budget, and we hope that maybe Kenyans will embrace it, and will maybe see to work, yes, to be working well for the Kenyans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mushiri.
Yes.
What's your take on the proposed budget?
Being a tax consultant, you know, my employer is the people of Kenya, yes, the taxpayers. Yes. For this bill, compared to last year's 2024, yeah, this one, as my colleague here has said, it's much better. But still, as Kenyans, they are saying we can do better as a country, yeah, because in the region we are leading, you know, in the economy. So Kenyans expect something bigger, yeah, from this bill. It's a bit more on compliance than introducing new taxes. So it's a fair bill, but there are some things that are in it that we are going to discuss that hopefully they can be checked from it.
Yes.
Yes.
Before we even get into some of the proposals,
yes,
Ryan, do you think, not that it's not really introducing new taxes, but does it still take the burden away from the taxpayer?
Yeah, in a way it takes some burden from the taxpayers, and it gives more powers to the institutions. Like KRA is now being asked to affirm and work well on its ways on how to collect taxes, and it's asking also counties and other institutions like ministries to devise ways on how to find money and fund their own projects. So the burden on mwananchi is kidogo, it's been meant to be constant. But the idea of how to raise revenue, and the government itself is going for, if you look at the bill itself, it's focusing on concessional loans other than commercial loans. You know, initially the government was focusing more on commercial loan, but now from these proposals and the budget, it's focusing on concessional loans which are more, the rates are a bit fair, and the payment terms are a bit also fair for the country.
Maybe you could paint a picture, a good picture of the difference between the concessional and commercial loans for anyone who is watching right now and doesn't know the difference.
Okay. Commercial loans are those loans that you can take from a bank. From there you get from these big banks, and then they finance you, and for them they have their own terms, and they give you higher rates, and they want the loans to be paid on a much more faster way, because it's a business. They want to recover their money quickly and make their profit in a way. But for concessional loans are those loans that once you take them, you are given a leeway. You can take a loan and start paying it after 10 years. That's a concession. There's an agreement whereby you take this loan, do whatever you want to do, and then after you've started now maybe reaping from whatever you've invested in, then you'll start paying at a later period of time, which also has a lower rate, and again it gives a breathing space for the government or for anyone who's taking loan along that line of concession. And that's where the government of the day is trying to do. That will reduce the burden, in that when you try now to service these loans, it will be at a later stage when whatever you've invested in be it infrastructure, be it industries, it will be at a later date than when you start repaying this loan. So that's where the concession bit of the loan is coming in, where the government of the day is trying to focus on this budget. Yes.
Ah, nice. You know, Mushiri, there are several proposals that are being introduced in this bill. One of them is increased per diem exemptions. That is tax-free daily allowance provided by employers to increase from 2,000 to 10,000. There's also corporate tax incentive for startups. There's also access to financial data. And actually, this one has brought about quite a debate when it comes to the access to financial data of Kenyans. Maybe we talk a little bit about these tax incentives and try to demystify them so that anyone who is watching can get a feel of what is being meant.
So what is happening, we start with the first one. We start with the good news. Per diem is being increased from 2,000 to 10,000. What is happening for the common mwananchi to understand clearly is, Mike, you're employed. Sometimes you are sent to the field, and there is a daily allowance that you're supposed to be given. So the government has increased it from 2,000 to 10,000. Given the economic times that we are in, that increase is actually a win for people who go out to work. That's a win. So we embrace that one. Then this one, after it's capped at 10,000. If you're given more than 10,000, now it will be taxable. But you see, you have 8,000 that has been added from 2,000. That's a win for us. What happens with these things is, with allowances, is when it comes to income tax, you are taxed on your basic pay plus all allowances. That 10,000 is an allowance, but it's not taxed. Anything above that will be added to your gross pay. So for that one, it's a win. For the next one that you have mentioned about KRA having powers to access your financials, well, for this one, I would say the government should look into it. Reason being, Kenyans are not comfortable when someone can get your financial data at any time without prior authorization. As a tax consultant, when I deal with taxes, with tax assessments, KRA do ask for these bank statements, certified bank statements. And we go to the taxpayers, they go to the bank, they are given the bank statement, it's signed by the bank, you provide to KRA. That is okay. But for them accessing without authorization, that is what Kenyans are not comfortable with. Yes.
Now, When it comes to startup tax incentives, Ryan, does it encourage innovation and entrepreneurship, given the way they have put it?
Just to also echo on what my friend is talking, just to on the initial question on KRA going to people's that information, personal information. I think this is whereby we as the youth we should come in and talk about, try to now relook at the Data Protection Act. You know, it's a very important act which protects people. It protects you and me from my personal information. So as KRA and other institutions which are working with government come in and trying to go into a personal data, we should also look at the Data Protection Act. What does it say? So here now my friend here is our Kili. We can through him and other people who are like-minded, we can look at it and see at what point does this KRA and maybe Safaricom or any other institution that wants to mine our data, at what point does it reach and stop? Because they can access our data, yes, but at what point does it end in terms of getting information?
Yes.
On your question on startup, the startup
does it encourage entrepreneurship and innovation when it comes to the incentives that are being proposed? Especially for people, young people, who are more now inclined into getting into business, starting something online, something of the sort.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing because from the onset it shows you the importance of paying taxes. You know, you have to start something knowing what you're getting yourself into, because it's in a way it's trying to promote good citizenship, because a country can only grow once we collect taxes from its people. So a startup, when you start this business and then you start paying taxes, in a way it is showing you that it is only fair that whatever small thing you're gaining from the system, from the structure that you give the government, maybe from this small incentive that the government has done to enable you to do this business, it is only proper that you pay something small, and that way it will give you that ethics or that need for you to know the importance of paying tax, because it is only through these taxes that we as a country can grow and develop ourselves. So I think one might say it's a bad thing, but again, the church says mpe kaisari.
But then again, there's a question where Kenyans ask, yes, we do pay taxes, but the way they are being used?
Now that's the question, and that's where the government is trying to come in. They have not increased more taxes, they're just giving more power to institutions to try and use wisely these taxes. And if you look at the budget, also the bill itself is trying to reduce on government spending, because most of these taxes are used on maybe foreign travels, are used on unnecessary expenditures that maybe you get some point where in State House people are using tea of I don't know how much. When they cut these expenditures, it will be the only sure way that when I pay these taxes, it will not go to someone's trip to somewhere.
So it's bringing much of leaning towards matters to do with austerity measures?
Yes. Because for me, where I work currently, I'm a research and policy analyst in Parliament, the Parliament of Kenya. If you look keenly from the last year's finance bill and from the Gen Z APROA, there's been so much austerity measures, a lot of it, and we can see, and it has really helped in terms of now the Parliament focusing on other areas which are more important to the people of Kenya, like public participation. Through the last year's finance bill, there was an uproar because the youth, the Gen Zs, we the young people say that we were giving our views, but our views were not being taken seriously because the public participation was a shamble. It was just a kind of a rubber stamp. But now from that, and now from the austerity measures, the element of public participation has been given so much prominence in Parliament, which is now giving us this new budget, which is now working well, and people are kind of resonating with it.
Indeed. Mushiri, yes. Circling back to the issue of access to fiscal information by the KRA as proposed within the finance bill. Do you think, in terms of compliance and ensuring that they curb tax evasion, will that be the effective? Is it the magic wand to ensure that there's compliance?
For that case, as you mentioned, data needs to be protected. Data is king right now.
Yes.
So curbing tax evasion, it will do so, but to some extent.
Yes.
People always find ways. But there is something that we should look at. There is tax evasion and there is tax avoidance. Tax evasion is totally legal. Tax avoidance is legal to some extent. How is it legal? For an employer who is taking advantage of, say, you've bought these machines.
Yes.
And when you're buying them, you're issued an eatings receipt. You're going to utilize that as a deduction.
Yes.
So you're not going to pay tax on that because that's an expense on your side. But then again, for tax evasion,
yes,
I would say KRA is trying so much at it, which is good for the country. But on real time, knowing what you have in your M-Pesa anytime, that one is not okay. Actually, they do get these news. Reason being, when you are going to iTax, when you log into iTax, your mobile number has to be validated.
Yes.
So they know the mobile number that is registered to your account. And your KRA PIN is also interconnected with your mobile number. They have all this. All we are asking as Kenyans is, don't do it without authorization.
But they want it anchored in law.
Yes. Say you want to add a VAT obligation.
Yes.
You have a business as a young person, and you want to add VAT obligation.
Yes.
They ask for documents. One of the documents they ask for is eTIMS registration. And then they may ask for your statements. If they're asking for your statements, they may ask for bank account statements. They may ask for M-Pesa statements. You get these M-Pesa statements that are signed and you take to KRA.
Yes.
That is okay. And Kenyans have no issue with that. But for them getting these documents without pre-authorization, that is what Kenyans don't want. Yes.
But then again, will it really, let's say granted,
yes,
it gets anchored in law. Does it address that problem?
It will be misused.
And that is the biggest problem.
That's the biggest problem.
Yes.
Yes.
From your own assessment, how do you think, have we learned our lesson from last year's finance bill? And is the approach, is this the right approach to deal with, to formulate a finance bill or the budget making process?
Yeah, if you ask me, we've learned a very big lesson, especially me from where I sit. It's a very big lesson because last year we nearly put our house on fire because of some of the proposals, the many taxes and everything. One of the biggest lessons is that we have learned to listen, and we, the youth, are airing our grievances, and we are being listened to. And the other thing is that Kenyans are saying we don't want many loans. We don't want to go into many loans, like I've talked about the concessional loans and the commercial loans. Kenyans feel like we are borrowing a lot, and we are borrowing without proper planning and without proper budgeting, I can say. Currently, as you can see from the budget, we are trying to reduce the loan. Actually, this budget, from what the government is doing, we are trying to, the physical deficit is kind of going down.
Yes.
We're trying to bring it down, and that is basically from last year's proposals in the budget. The other thing is that from last year's happenings and today, you can see that in this budget, if you look at it keenly, they've given so much money to the young people. Yeah, if you look at going by the bottom-up economic agenda, they've given so much funding to young people, which shows that last year's efforts are bearing fruit this year, because like you look at things to do with the youth empowerment and economic empowerment, something like the NYS has been given a lot of money. They've been given around 11.8 billion. If you look at things to do like Kenya Jobs, economic transformation, it's been given a lot of money. If you look at the help, has been added a lot of money. So from last year's happenings to this year, there's been a lot of improvements, and the budget is a bit reasonable. And I can say there's been so much.
Maybe you would speak a little on the value-added tax, because it touches on VAT.
Yes. For value-added tax, what is happening? They have not added in the rates. The rate for standard rate is still at 16%. But there is something that the government has done, and that is bring on board e-teams. And it's saying, for any purchase that you're making, for any sale that you're making, you need an electronic invoice. Now, that one is integrated with KRA systems, so it's on real time. If Mike sells this machine, KRA gets to know that you've sold. That is a very okay for mobilization of revenue. If you want to do input tax, you have to have those e-teams invoices. Now, this is for all businesses. But as a tax consultant, I really want to tell Kenyans, if you're not on e-teams, find a way of reaching out to me, and I'll make sure that you're on e-teams if you have a business. And on VAT, there is something else, Mike, that I think this finance bill has brought in that we are hoping it can be scrapped out. The thing is, for the finance bill, it has brought in zero-rated supplies to exempt supplies. As a tax accountant, what that means is something that is zero-rated. You as a manufacturer, and you get something, some inputs that you buy, and you pay VAT on them. Then afterwards, you're supposed to claim VAT on that product. When you're selling zero-rated purchases, when you're selling zero-rated supplies, you can't charge VAT, but you can get input tax from that. Now, since government has moved that zero rate to exempt, that means you as the manufacturer, you can't claim that input tax. That tax will be passed down to the last consumer, meaning a product will be more expensive. That's why you see youths in Kenya are up in arms. Reason being, some of the proposed things that have been proposed from zero rate to exempt, farm inputs, an example, pharmaceutical products for making medicines, that's another example. And another one is electric motorcycles, electric buses. They've been moved from zero to exempt. So it's going to make these products to be a bit expensive. What I would tell our CAs, our IBO CAs body, Kaidri, if they can still remain to be zero-rated, Kenyans will be okay. Taking them to exempt, yes, exempt you're not paying anything. But for the manufacturer, he cannot claim input tax. And that makes the final product to a bit, be more a bit pricey.
Because the burden falls on the manufacturer?
The last burden falls on the consumer. So if the manufacturers has used, say, 1 million shillings in production of these, and there is 16%, there is 160,000% on top. The manufacturers, the way it is, because we are currently using Finance Bill 2023, the way it is, the manufacturer can claim that 160,000. So that burden will not be passed to the consumer. But if the manufacturer will not be able to claim that 160,000, then that 160,000, the manufacturer will pass it down to the last consumer.
So, Ryan, how do we balance this to ensure there is fairness?
What I can say is that, when you make a decision, sometimes there are repercussions, there are some challenges which you have to bear. So in this case, it's an issue. The zero-rated and a tax-exempt discussion was there in the last financial bill. But I think the government has decided to make a decision, to take a decision. So for me, if you ask me, of course, the burden is on the manufacturer, but at the end of the day, the burden falls back to the consumer. So it's a lose-lose or say win-win kind of situation, because the manufacturer will lose at some point, but again the consumer at some point might lose because of paying more than whatever he was supposed to pay for the product. So it's a situation whereby if you ask me,
which also brings out a very important aspect of why public participation ought to happen.
It's very important for public participation. And I would urge the government, we youths are exposed to so many platforms. Let them talk. And when they are talking, they will give good views. And it's a good thing. For this one, it's not all items. The Finance Bill 2025 is actually okay to some extent. To a bigger extent, it's very okay. But some of these things, just change. If it's related to exempt, let it remain so, so that the prices can be at least can be affordable to everybody. Now, I'll touch on something. What I'm going to touch on is supply of solar and lithium.
Yes.
Now, this one has been moved to from zero rate to exempt. Same scenario that I was talking about. So solar systems will be a bit expensive. And we are also trying to move to other forms of getting energy, okay? And then something else. If the government wants people to embrace Finance Bill 2025, just make sure that everything that is in that document, it's a 136-page document, just make sure that everything on it, as we said, it's not adding new taxes, but it's bringing compliance. Just make sure that there is public participation that is open to everybody. And something else, Mike, we are saying it's not adding new taxes, but as a tax consultant, we read between the lines. There is something called DST, Digital Service Tax. Digital Service Tax started with way back in 2020, Finance Bill 2020-2021. It was for residents and non-residents. Then it was repaired to be for non-residents. Okay, then at that time it was at 3%. What the government has done, they have done a good thing. They have reduced the rate from 3% to 1.5%. But something else that is not being said, it has been introduced again to residents. Who is a resident? A resident is not, it doesn't mean because you have an ID in Kenya, you are a resident. No. A resident in this case, they are talking about tax residents. There are ways that we calculate whether you're a tax resident. Whether you've been in Kenya for 183 days in that year of income, or you've been in Kenya for 122 days for that year income and 2 previous years, you're a resident in Kenya. So this DST has been reduced, the rate has been reduced from 3% to 1.5%. But then again, it has introduced residents into it. And then this DST, it's touching even on content creators. So content creators in Kenya, it's your time to be on tax. You'll be paying whatever you earn as a tax as a content creator. It will be taxable if it's through the internet, electronic media forms. Yes. There is something else, Mike, that I will touch on that before I move on. There is a bit of ambiguity on DST. Reason being, digital service tax that is being taxed on electronic form. If say you are a content creator and you're also doing sales and promotional messages, it has another tax that is called withholding tax at 5%. But then again, this 5%, what I want to ask is, will it be on that or will it be on DST? So you can't be taxed twice. There needs to be a formula that if you are doing digital service tax as 1.5 and they are doing sales on that same thing, there is withholding tax on 5%, there needs to be clarity on that. Yes.
All right. Let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk about if now this aligns with realities that we are facing as a country. This will be done after this short break.
Say the earth without art would just be get it? We circumnavigate the globe and traverse the local scene to bring you art and culture at their very best. From fine art, culinary art, performing arts, and even cultural events, you name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki, and I will be serving you this and much, much more each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
She is a mentor, she is a founder, and she is a beacon of hope for very many women.
I was encouraged to achieve from a very early stage because I was one of the clever students, so I opted to go for the accounting option. But I feel bad, honestly I do, when a student is not given an opportunity to become, because it is education that has made the difference that I have today. I'm more of a person who is driven by the agenda and not the gender.
And I just want to celebrate you on national TV. Coincidentally, today is her birthday, and I have a surprise for you, ma'am.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, my.
You're just in time to watch Good Morning Kenya. Conversation on air right now is about the finance bill of 2025. Given that next week, the budget for the financial year 2025-2026 will be presented in Parliament on Thursday next week. Ryan, when it comes to all everything to do with the finance bill and the budget of 2025-2026, does it speak to the realities that Kenya is facing now? We're talking about the cost of living, the economic times. Do you think it's speaking to the realities of it?
Yeah, it does. It speaks to the relative times because, as you have clearly explained, it has not increased taxes on the basic needs. So that again, it tells you that it is speaking to the reality of times. And just like I was telling you, I was explaining earlier, the bill or the budget has focused on youth, and you can see it is also giving so much money, not so much money. It's allocating some money to the sanitary towels, around 940 billion, which again it shows that it is having concern to the women, to our girl child in the society. So. Also on the issue to do with the Higher Education Loans Board, education is a very serious issue, and it has focused on it. It is giving it a lot of money. I think it's around 11 billion. On the medical sector, in the health sector, it has given in some money, some billions of money there. So, if you ask me, the tax, the budget, and the finance bill, it's taking care of Mwananchi, except from the few things that my colleague is talking about, the digital taxes, which again I'll urge the youth to really look into this finance bill and the budget, because there are so many good things. There's something called Nyota there. It is giving money to the youth. So if we young people look keenly and follow through, I could have listed some of these opportunities for young people, which are just money which are there, which if we as young people, because basic needs or our needs starts by us accessing money from our government, and which the government has given so much prominence, and we are being urged as young people, because we are the ones who made the last year's finance bill to fall. So this year the government is giving us so much money for us to be able to access this money, for us to improve ourselves. Of course, there's the digital tax, which most Kenyans are now going digitally, but there are some other ways. Like if you go to the sports and creativity, there's a fund called Sports, Arts and Social Development Fund. It has been given around 17.34 billion. So these are people who are good in sports, people who are good in athletics, people who are good in football. Even there's the sports academy. There's been given around 194 million. Such incentives for young people will make us young people not to really suffer and also maintain our living standard, because if you are good and you know there's some money there and you are good in a particular area, and you are good maybe in digital and these other areas, you can go and access that money. And if there are issues, that's when you can now raise our voices. There's this money that we give now in terms of Nyota, in terms of Uwezo Fund. It has been given so much money also. This bill has given is speaking so much to the Mwananchi, and because of last year's reactions. And now it's being given so much prominence, and it's being talked about so much, and it is focusing on the real mwananchi out there.
Mushiri, when it comes to digital asset taxation, if used well, fairly, is it going to encourage entrepreneurship and legitimize the same in the digital space?
Yes, everybody, if you're earning money in Kenya, that's revenue for the government. There is something that my dad said one day, that you are born not to be helped by the government, but for you to help the government. So yes, as Kenyan youth, we should actually embrace paying taxes. The only question is, are they being utilized for the cause that we are doing? Is it bringing in something to the common mwananchi? How? In terms of services. You get taxed, you want to see services. You want to see healthcare, you want to see road networks, you want to see education. It's very easy for the government to actually bring on board youths in paying taxes. They want to pay taxes. Case in point, Mike, you've seen someone who is in a dilemma in Kenya. And an influencer just raises the issue on Facebook or anywhere on Twitter, on X. Kenyans actually, they do mchango for that person in droves, in millions. Right? So Kenyans have no qualms in paying taxes. Just make sure that what it is doing, what is supposed to be done. And then I want to touch on good news. Good news on this bill. The one good news is sports. There is something called sports expenditure. If you're an investor and you're starting, you want to invest in a sports academy here. Now this bill has proposed that the monies that you use for this, you can actually claim it. That is going to encourage more investors to invest in sports in Kenya. And then I will touch on something else that we hope that will be scrapped. KRA is proposing, this bill is proposing that KRA can issue something called an agency notice, even in a tribunal or a case that is ongoing. For that one, what is happening is, if you are a taxpayer, say I'm in business, and I have an issue with KRA, there is an assessment that is going on. Then we go to tribunal or we go to high court. The case is active, but KRA is saying that they can issue an agency notice. An agency notice is issued even to your banks. They can close your bank accounts that in a way that you cannot operate, and the case is active. So what we are saying as Kenyans is, kindly, don't give them that powers. If a case is active, don't let KRA give an agency notice. Because if they give an agency notice and you can't operate your bank accounts, you can't do business. And a case might take years actually. Right? So we are hoping that the bill, they get to scrap some of these things. But then as it is, there are some good things that are there. So let's see what the CS will do for us in the next 1 or 7 days.
Is the budget too ambitious? We're talking about 4.3 trillion.
Compared to last year, is not very ambitious because, like I said, the focus is mainly to maintain the physical deficit. That's where the focus is. And currently now, even if it's too ambitious, I can't say it's very ambitious because now the government is trying other ways, like I told you, other ways on how to raise funds, to raise revenue, to give more focus on KRA and other institutions to raise revenue and to collect taxes, to widen the tax bracket. That's where now they are bringing in the content creators, just to make sure that not to increase taxes, but just to widen. Because, like I said about tax avoidance and tax tax evasion, to try and seal these loopholes to enable the government to raise more money. It may seem over ambitious, but if you look at it keenly, there's a trajectory. Because if you look keenly, the fiscal deficit as of now, it's at 5.3% of the GDP, and the focus is for it to be at 2.7% of the GDP by 2027-28 budget, 2027-29 financial year. So there's that. It is ambitious, but in a way it is having a kind of a focus. to try and reduce that fiscal deficit whereby we are living within our means. Yeah, that's my take on the.
Do you think we are punching above our weight?
I don't think we are punching above our weight as Kenyans. Reason being, as of that year, April 2025,
yes,
KRA was able to correct more than 2.1 trillion.
Yes.
It was a 6.1% rise in correction. So actually, it shows that we Kenyans can actually self-fund ourselves in this budget. Because we are looking at, they're saying they should have at least 2.8 million from normal taxes.
Yes.
If by April they did 2.1, trust me, they are going to make it. And one of the reasons why KRA was able to correct this, it's something called amnesty. Amnesty is given up to 30th June 2025, but it's for cases that are to 30th June 2023 for those cases. 2024 year is not on amnesty. We are hoping as the youth that CS Body can decide that before 30th June 2025, they can increase the amnesty period to cover up to the year 2024. The reason KRA was able to correct is, what amnesty is doing is, if say you have no principal tax, but you have penalties and interest, the amnesty government that gave, it said it's going to clear those penalties. How talipa K2 as a youth? You see? So if CS Body can just increase the amnesty period and say it will cover year 2024, it's going to help so many startups, so many taxpayers. And you're hoping it's going to. If they manage to correct 2.1, then the deficit can be achievable, actually. Yes.
You know, we can sit here and talk so much about, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to budget. But I want to give you each a minute to give your final closing remarks. Let me start with you, Ryan.
Youth in Kenya, I think your voice has been heard from last year's participation in the finance bill in a very rigorous and very focused manner. It has brought us to this state whereby now we're looking at issues soberly as young people. And as you can see now, we the youth are the next frontiers. We are the guys now taking up this space. For a long time, we've been told that we are the leaders of tomorrow. Our tomorrow is today. And clearly from last year, you spoke, we've been heard, and today we are here and we are having these discussions. As you can see here on the bench, we are only young people who are talking about these matters. Our presenter here, Mike, is a young guy, and I can see some of the people who are in the Nini are young people. So it's our time now for us to take up these matters and focus on these issues. Ask questions, the good questions, and I'm sure the government will hear us, and we will be able to answer us in a good way and in a firm way.
Yes. For that minute that I'm going to take, I'm going to say this. Most of our expenditure that is corrected goes to wage bills. And wage bill as a government, if they reduce the wage bill, it's a win for the country. I have a proposal, Mike. I want the president to correct 1 million signatures to change the constitution in a way that you are just going to have, say, one president, one vice president, 8 governors. We currently have 47. Let's have 8. We had 8 provinces.
8 provinces, yes.
Now we need 8 governors only. We need 8 senators only. For MPs, we only need 96 MPs in Kenya. How am I coming to that? We have 47 constituencies, 47 counties. 47 counties to be represented by one lady and one man in equal measure. And then that would be 94, that would be 94 MPs. Then let's have 2 people, PWDs, representing them. We'll only have 96 MPs in Kenya. Afterwards, the wards that are represented by MCAs, the wards can be represented by chiefs. Let MCAs represent a constituency. Like we had back in the day, we had 280 constituencies. So we'll only have 290 MCAs. Currently, we have like 3,000 of them. If we reduce this number, we can actually reduce the wage bill. Because if you see, as a country, we are around 55 billion Kenyans. But we are overrepresented. Let's reduce the numbers that are representing us. And this money, let it be used in other austerities like education. Let education be free, primary and secondary. Let education be free. Let there be services in healthcare. Let the workers have their monies. And as a country and as the youth, we are okay with everything. We don't care who is the president. We don't want to know what your tribe is or anything. All we want to do is good governance. If that is achievable, and it's achievable actually, then as a country, we'll be heading in the right direction, Mike.
So long as all systems are working, everything will be good.
Yes.
Gentlemen, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated. That is Ryan Injendi Malulu, who is a research and a policy analyst, as well as Philip Mushiri, who is a tax consultant, talking to us about matters to do with the finance bill of 2025-2026 and the budget being presented next week. This is where this conversation ends, but don't go too far. Entertainment Thursday is about to kickstart with one Eve Nyaga, so I invite you to tune in. DJ, leo iko nini?
Mambo iko salama sana.
Iko fiti?
Yes.
Sawa, take it away. Take it away.
Jioni tukapatana tao tena, alisema ni manager wa IT, kupiga simu kampuni haijulikani, akapost baby picha pale. My heart, push it in. Love me, Sherry, love me, love me. Only me alone, leave me alone. Love me, Sherry, love me, love me. Only me alone, leave me alone.
Na kwa DM unanitisha za boda, unauza sera eti unataka husband, lakini streets na kuona na wababa basi kujudge no. Chezwa tau na unaishingi CBD DCI ujanja wa kufiki si ujanga na fiti foundation sisi miti buy goods bila till haitaki risiti. I know you wanna see me tonight. Last time uliacha your blouse, leo upate sababu tuonane tena. I know you wanna see me tonight. I know you wanna meet at my house. Kiburi isitufanye tukosane tena. Love me, Ziki.
Vita misipigani mwenyewe, ulishapata kuambiwa na guardian angel. Nataka mnisikize mnielewe, hamtaweza tamjaribu mpaka kesho. Adui wamesamba, utawapata uptown na mageto. Pole kwao, ikiwa uma sana mpake deto. Hey. Ukiona naye mpigania unaingiza njeve kama vest. Kama unashuku and you don't believe me, then put it to the test. Vita vya roho intense, sisi hatutapigana na chest. Koro umekuja buda chunga, si tumekuja na hivi vita vya kiroho. Hatutarusha ngumi na mateke. Ukikuja na matu, hatutarusha ngumi na mateke. Sisi vita vya kiroho. Hatutarusha ngumi na mateke. Ukikuja na matu, hatutarusha ngumi na mateke.
Fine wine, maridadi, mali yote yangu. Abebo yawa, Ibersana yawa, Abebo yawa, wacha na waroga. Safi, mali fine, mali gafi, mali yote yangu. Mali safi, kijana fine wine, maridadi, mali yote yangu. Abebo yawa, iber sana yawa, abebo yawa, ikanye yawa.
Kila lokachena adingo bada Lutodo ngipena ikaona mbaya ye Sulwerina sami moko misuma Kosotiko minale nungono Ematera peru Maduoka pari karilo susukari My love ani chane noka No vela adunya miela taloriwa Ko mala safi mali fine Mali gafi mali yote yangu Mali safi vijana barubaru ukinipanda uwezi shuka ikitwa uwezi ruka kutoka iwezekani ani kwangu ni kwako ndani hata ufungwe shuka wakushuke matuta na kuone yanga mbali mimi ndo mwenye mali nataka tabibu anitibu juwalimu hanajibu the way you smile you ignite my soul nipe your time your body and soul ona majaribu ya usiku unainama sina nguvu wenzako sina hali usiende mbali nimeguzwa mahali na kautamu flani na kama ni wewe ongeza mpaka nilewe utulivu wa bahari kautamu flani na kama ni wewe ongeza mpaka nilewe
zangu zikishuka na kuita una lift my mood umenitepa na umekwama kwangu nikiwa mavitu nipe vitu zangu zangu haziwezi shuka you complete upumbavu wangu mama mia tumia mamia zangu watasaita kama eyes on you
I close my eyes now akilini nawaza furaha taipata vipi meza yangu nitajibiti I speak my heart nimekosewa na my human pride na nimeona vile love is blind I pray to God to miss myself when love comes my way anitibu jumalimu hanajibu the way you smile you ignite my soul you pay your time your body and soul una majaribu ya usiku unainama nasimama mwenzako sina hali usiende mbali nimeguzwa mahali na kautamu flani na kama ni wewe ongeza mpaka nilewe
kunywa maji ukimaliza kunywa pombe peleka maisha pole dajipe mwenyewe zitoke kunywa maji ukimaliza kunywa pombe peleka maisha pole dajipe mwenyewe zitoke songa ugali foundation weka hisamaki katikati ya Januari kula ukasirishe kamati twanga ugali foundation weka ya samaki katikati ya Januari haribu tena jenga mwili ayoyo aroro funga batonya shati mekukabako funga pia mushipi ajili ya tumbo usiogope kukula jasho yako mama aroro niko na saizi yangu ya ni 4x4 katoto mali safi better than
hapa ni mbwe mbwe. Na ukileta ngori ngumi pweze. Hapa ni mbwe mbwe, hapa ni mbwe. Weta mbili mbili hapa ni mbwe mbwe. Wawili wawili leo ni mbwe mbwe. Aroro na BNM ni mbwe mbwe. Hapa ni mbwe mbwe. Piga kazi ye. Kulima sichagui jembe. Mzigo wangu wacha ni pepe. Jipange ama tukupange. Wacha kitu we. Wacha kitu shetani ya hepe. Si alijileta mwenyewe. Hapa ni shangwe tuna mbwe mbwe. Hapa ni mbwe mbwe.
Leo sapa tunakuladi mpishi. Bora tushibe. Mwiko refu tunafungadi mshipi. Bora tupike. Kamba ya buto unaweza gongewa. Hauna mbota na bado timing unatolewa. Bora mpishi jumpishi bora shaolewa. Easy but niko easy ganji kitolewa.
Baby don't touch me there. Me gonna wake you in the air. I me say touch me there. Sugar down low, find me there. Hakuna cha reverse, nikishaka magazine. I'm always on time. Hakuna zimefit kwa nyonginyo ni magret. Feeling really high. I feel the best, like
Good morning, everybody. In case you are just joining us, this is Good Morning Kenya. And, you know, the long weekend is here. And Unique, the DJ, is definitely giving us the vibes of a weekend that is about to start in style. Yeah, so right about now, I have my first guest in studio. She goes by the name Bahar. I hope I'm getting that right. She is a storyteller all the way from Iran. So sit back and get ready for a beautiful interview. And of course, we need to hear a story or two from Bahar, right? So first of all, we have a skit that we are gonna play, and then she'll give us a nice performance of her story, you know? So if we have that clip, can we just roll it?
Different parts of Iran to have a very big celebration.
Well, but this is not the only story in Shahnameh talking about Nowruz. Our story begins when a champion from Iran is supposed to go to the border of Iran to fight with wild boars. Boars are coming to him, one after the other. He's fighting with boars, dagger, with bow and arrow, with make. He's fighting with the whole boars in the land.
جو از خیمه کردش نگاه بدید آن سهی قد لشکر پناه. The princess of the champion. What about the princess? و از آنجا به ایوان آن بی هنر منیژه کزو ننگ یابد گهر. برو با سواران و تاراج کن نگون بخت را بی سر و تاج کن. And that was the punishment for the lovers. شاهنامه are the last lines of various special book of شاهنامه. مبادت فراموش گفتار من اگر دور مانی ز دیدار من. که نیکی بهش نیک خواه تو باد همه نیکی اندر خناب تو باد. سرت سبز باد و لبت شادمان تنت پاک و دور از بد بدگمان.
در روح و جان من میمانی ای وطن.
Bahar, it's your time.
به نام خداوند جان و خرد کزین برتر اندیشه بر نگذرد.
Greetings from Iran, the land of music and storytelling and culture. I'm really happy that today I'm here with you in Kenya. So good morning, Kenya, and listen to my story. My story begins where a champion who was the victorious of all battles, just in a celebration, fall in love with a very beautiful princess. A princess with long black hairs, his lips red as roses, and so gorgeous. So they get married together, and soon after that, time passed, and the princess was supposed to give birth to a child. Then the champion is ready for the birth of his child. There's a news for the champion. The son is born, so he is the most happiest person in the world. He rode on his horse, go to the bedchamber with joy in being thankful. There in the bedchamber, the baby is swaddled in silk. The gentle nurse gave the baby to the champion. This is a gift from God. Be helpful and thankful for what He is. I am thankful. God, I'm the happiest person ever. So He pulled back the cloth, and his smile faded. White hairs, white eyebrows, and the face red as blood. So the champion couldn't breathe, couldn't talk. And soon after that, he just went back on his horse and rode away. He rode and rode and rode away from the bedchamber, away from people, away from joy, and away from his newborn son. In the mount, he just cried to the sky, God, what was the sin just I committed? Is this the announcement of what? I cannot tolerate this pain. Everyone will laugh at me. It's my shame. I cannot be his father. You took this son to me, and I just take it back to you. Then at night, when everyone were asleep, the champion came back. He went to the bedchamber. He took the baby with himself, rode on his horse, and go away, again, away from people. There, he went back to the mount. On cold stone, he put the baby on the stone. God, forgive me, but I cannot accept this child. I am not his father. You gave him to me, and I gave it back to you. Now, if you think that my story ends here, you are wrong. Because miracles exactly happen at the time that life is cruel and everything is dark. Yes, from the Mount Qaf, Seymour, the Savior bird, came to the baby. Seymour, the Savior bird, just tried to flying over the mountain, finding chicks, a food. And at time, he just saw the baby. Oh, that's a great food for the chicks. So he came and grabbed the baby with himself to the mountain. On his nest, exactly at the moment the children and the chicks were going to eat the
there was a sound in the ears of Seymour. Seymour, it's a vow between you and the heavens. Take care of this baby. The baby is supposed to grow to a wise nobleman. And that was the miracle for the child of our story. Years have passed, and after that, the father was feeling guilty. He was crying every day and asked God for having his baby back. And once he dreamed of his baby who is alive in the mountain. He just awoke with trembling hands. At the morning, he went to the mountain, and there in the mountain, he was full of sorrow and shame. God, I was blind. I abandoned your gift. So please forgive me and give me back my child. And that was the time that the Savior bird just saw this scene. He went to the scene, go to the son who is noble and wise now, and said, your father is back. He is sorry for what he has done. And it's the time to be back to human. No, I don't want to be back, the son said. Here, this nest is my home. I like to live with you. And Seymour, the Savior bird, say, no, you are human. You should experience humanity with all its joys and pains. So he gave a feather of him to the son and say, my son, whenever life was cruel to you, or you need a solution for everything happens to you, just put this feather on the fire and I will come from the sky. Then the son of our story was calmed down. He agreed to be back to the father. Soon after, the son was on the back of Seymour, and the father saw the miracle. A boy with flowing white hair is just descending to the earth, to the ground. And yes, that was the miracle from God for those who understand that life is full of cruelty. But the one who understands about the borders win the game. So he was happy with the boy and say, boy, you are not the curse. You are just a miracle. That was my story for you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Wow, we wanted it to go longer, but unfortunately we don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
But that was awesome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so now that people have seen you, storytelling, maybe just give us a brief introduction of who you are.
My name is Bahar. I think in your language it means the ocean.
Yes, Bahari.
Bahari.
Yeah.
And in my language it means the spring. So from the ocean and the spring, greeting to you.
Okay.
My job is telling stories. I'm focused on traditional storytelling. This traditional storytelling in Iran is called Naqqali. Naqqali is the oldest form of narrative in Iran, also registered in UNESCO as an intangible heritage of Iran.
Okay.
And from long time ago, when there was no media, no TV, radio, none of this, Naqqal, who was usually a man, goes around the people in the school, in the communities, and narrates stories. The situation was small here, but the Naqqal just tried to move, use this stick, and have some different gestures just to narrate the story through dramatical art. And then what was important is that Naqqal always tried to choose stories that have a message for people.
Yeah.
I mean, according to their situation of life, they needed some messages to have a better life. And because of that, usually Naqqal goes to epic stories, goes to very, let's say, rich stories, And one of those great stories and masterpieces in Farsi is called Shahnameh, or Book of Kings. In Shahnameh, which is written by Ferdowsi 1,000 years ago, we have so many stories. Different stories, epic stories, love stories, different form of telling stories, but in the form of epic. I mean, the base is epics. We have historical ones, mythological ones. And what is important with the stories of Shahnameh is that Ferdowsi always try to talk about something that people need to be better people. I mean, it's all about humanity. The verse I read in the beginning of my performance, به نام خداوند جان و خرد, John and Khrad, it means wisdom and life. So this is what we need to live. A human needs wisdom to live a better life. And it's full of messages. If you like me to tell more about that.
Yes, all right. So before you tell us more about the messages, so is that where you as a storyteller and maybe other storytellers get their stories? So you don't write your own stories?
Sometimes we try, but this form of narrative, Naqqali, usually we have some scripts that is dramaturgy of the stories from Shahnameh or the other old form of stories. Usually we do not use our own story or modern stories because the message is from the old time and the form of storytelling is from the old time. We usually try to use this epic story. And one thing very important with Shahnameh is that it wants to just focus on telling that people for a better life, they need to push away the borders. It's not the story of caring about just the nation of Iran. It's an international point of view. People need to care about each other. Somewhere we have the comment, "Bia ta jahan ra be bad nasparin." It means that let us do not make the world to be bad. So because we have such a great method in Naqqali, we try to just use Shahnameh or other older stories.
So in your opinion, what makes a good storyteller?
A good storyteller regarding this form of Naqqali, I think being in contact with the audience is the most important thing. Well, we need a good way of speaking, good way of gestures, but what is important is that the audience understand about your story. The audience in his heart or in their heart feel the story. Because whenever you just go through the heart of your audience, that's the moment that you understand it. And I always tell my students, because I have so many students, they are learning storytelling from me, I always tell them, okay, you will be trained in voice, in gesture, in just memorizing the stories, but what is the important is the connection of your hearts. Whenever you find just this connection, that's all.
That's it. Yeah, so storytelling, you say that it's a traditional form of, passing a message. And right now we are in the digital age and people are consuming short stories and concentration span is getting lower and lower. So how are you navigating that and ensuring that you still have your audiences, the moment you are on stage telling a story, how are you navigating storytelling in the digital age?
You see, sometimes regarding the situation, I try to use, for example, let me say, in old form of storytelling, sometimes we had a very big curtain of painting. And the Naqqal just with his stick just show the pictures and then narrate their stories. Sometimes I try to use pictures and from old painting. Sometimes I try to use music sound. Sometimes, as you see in the video, it was in Prague for the Nowruz. Sometimes the music just accompany me. But the whole form is just not digital form of storytelling. We have digital storytelling, sometimes we use it. And yes, you're right, people in modern life sometimes do not like these traditional forms. But I think since the stories are very rich and the message is what we need for today, they just accept it, because I have been in
different storytelling performances in Iran, in other countries. I have traveled to 12 countries. This is the 12th one. I see people at the moment they just connect with the story. At the moment they understand about the message, they just forget everything about the rushes and the modern life with digital things. I think they just find the connections.
Yeah. Have you ever been on stage telling a story and then you realize that you're losing your audience?
Yes.
What do you do in such a moment?
It depends on different situations. For example, when I'm performing for children, sometimes they need more active
that's a tough
ones.
crowd.
Yeah, I try just to be more creative, to just bring some more energy to their story, just accompany them with myself, just clapping or doing some acts. For example, in my stories, they just take the rope and have bow and arrow, something like that.
Yeah.
For the just more adult stories, audiences, sometimes I try just to be focused on myself, because I think that everything starts from inside me. If there's a problem outside, if they do not care about my story and they do not like it, there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm not connected myself in the story. And then most of the time it's okay, but sometimes, no, I lose them.
Yeah, all right. What are some of the challenges you've had, other than what we've talked about, you know, losing crowd, realizing that you're losing your audiences?
You know, I am telling stories for 26 years. I started when I
You've been storytelling for 26 years.
Yes,
that's a
because
long time.
I started this Naqali when I was 14. And surely I had so many problems and challenges, the challenges of the technical problems, the challenges of, as you say, not connection with the audience. But always, I think there was a miracle with me. And at the moment, even before starting the performance, I just feel the first master that I start with this Naqali, I just feel him. He's now dead. He was an old man, master. His name was Murshid Torabi, who was master with the Naqali. And I just think, come what may, what are the challenges? I can't remember actually now the exact ones. But something like a miracle happens in my storytelling, and just finish everything with the challenges.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how does your storytelling, you know, and you've said that you've been to 12 countries.
Yeah.
You know, what message are you passing out there when you're traveling to different countries? And is it a message of peace? Is it a message of unity? And are there specific stories that you tell when you go to different countries?
Yes, you're right with the message. That's the message of peace. You see, in Shahnameh, we have different stories. But regarding that wisdom I told you, the whole story is talking about whenever you push away and pull back the borders, something happens to your life. And what are these borders? The border of races, geographical borders, religious beliefs, colors, everything that makes people to be different from each other. You are rich, I am poor. You are black, I am white. You are Iranian, I'm from the other country. Whenever you find these differences make you just have a border, that's the problem. In Shahnameh's story, we're talking in different stories about this pushing away the borders. This man that I told you their story was abandoned just because of the color of his face. And then the miracle happens when the father understands that this is not important. Later he get married to a woman which is from the race of enemy, as we have in love stories in different countries. So again, they push away the borders and they find love stronger than borders. So I think this is the most important message, and because of that, I just created a group with this message of beyond the borders. A professor from Canada, Professor Laura Bizailon, and my husband and I just created a group just to care about this beyond the borders. We tell stories, we just focus on Shahnameh, we have messages from Shahnameh in different events to show that the most important thing that people nowadays need in any nation, in any country, any continent, it is peace and pushing away the borders to find similarity. Because we need to make this world a better place to live.
True. Yeah. So where do you see the future of storytelling?
The future of storytelling, I find it amazing. Because from the moment we are born in this life, the story begins. We have lots of stories. The story of the baby, the story of baby for himself or herself, the story of parents, then growing old, going to university, going to school, getting married, having baby again. And every day when we talk together, these are stories. So the future of storytelling should be and must be something amazing because we need the stories the whole life we have. We cannot focus on anything else but the stories, because this is the stories that connect us. You see, I'm in another continent now, another country, but when I listen to stories, because I had the storytelling in a school, they were so much energetic. I love them, the audiences. And when I listen to other stories from other storytellers, I saw that, wow, how much we are connected together through the stories. You have the nature, you have legends, you have old stories, me too, in my country. Another person in another country, Europe, Asia, America, I don't know, wherever they are. We have the heart of storytelling together. And what has been last for all these long, long years, sure will have an amazing future.
Yes, all right. So before we wind up, I'd like to know how your experience is like in Kenya. Is this your first time in Kenya?
Yes, this is my first time in Africa. And yes, it's fantastic. I was really excited when I came in because besides the storytelling, I love traveling. When I go to different countries, I find different stories and cultures. So coming to a country so much different from my country, it gives me great feeling. But what I understand about people are so much passionate and kind and friendly here. I do not feel that I'm a stranger. And about the nature, it's amazing.
You're loving the nature.
Yeah, it's loving the nature. And because nature is our mother, I think you have a word say welcome back to home. Yes, in Swahili.
Yeah, karibu.
No, karibu, yes, you say karibu, but there's a motto that whenever I heard from my Kenyan friends, that whenever you come to the country from outside, people say welcome back home, because here is the home.
It's home.
Yes, it's the nature. And it gives me a great feeling to be here.
Welcome, and I hope you stay a bit longer and you'll be back again. Anyway, so we are done, but before we finish, I'd like you to give us one more performance, one more story. I don't know if you have any other story that you're ready to perform.
Yes. Maybe I choose another form of stories. It was somehow a kinda, but can I use a bigger place?
I think so, but before we finish, maybe you can just say your final words.
My final words. My final word is that stories will save us. Stories from different countries, different books. For me, telling stories and having Naqali from Shahnameh and having the experience of my master, Murshid Torabi, is something that saved my life. I mean, it gives me different miracles in my life. And I am sure so much more miracles with saving the stories are standing for me and waiting for me in the future. And I hope that everything finds the great, amazing stories in their life.
Are you performing anywhere? Is there somewhere that you'll be telling your stories that people can come?
Actually, I don't know. A friend of mine and also the honored embassy of Iran is just trying to have different performances, but actually I don't know the places now. But I have the other storytelling performances.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Bahar, for joining us. The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you. So, my story, this is my camera, yes?
Yeah.
The bigger one?
Yes.
My story begins when everybody in the court of the king are happy and have a big, great celebration. They are dancing and having music and everything is fine till a shepherd comes to the place. Oh my Lord, we need your help. A big beast is just defeating us. The big beast is just ruining everything in our agricultural farm. It's ruining our sheep, it's ruining our cows. Please help us. Then the king asked the shepherd about how this beast is. The beast is something very big with yellow, nice color and a big black line on his back. Then the king understands that it's not a beast, it's a demon. Yes, the demon is the land, and we need a very powerful, strong champion to fight with this demon. The champion Rostam, the biggest champion in Iran, just came to fight with this demon. The champion took his bow, arrow, rope, and everything with himself, go through the battle. He moved different places to find the demon. And yes, the demon is there. He just took his bow and arrow to kill the demon. I won't do that. I just will go to have the rope and catch him alive. So he took his rope and started to have the movement to catch the demon. And it was disappeared. The demon was disappeared. And again the champion found for that. And again it was disappeared. For 3 days the champion was looking for the demon and he couldn't find it. At least he was tired. He hunt some animals and then rest. At the moment that the champion was asleep, the demon came back and then came to the champion. He cut the whole ground and took on his head the champion. Now you, the champion, tell me, how do you want to be dead? In the mountain or in the sea? And that was the demon who was fighting with our champion. But the champion is wise. He knows that demons are vice versa. They always choose the wrong thing. They always choose badness. And then he had a plan. You didn't tell me, the champion, where do you want to be killed? In the mountain or in the sea? I prefer to be killed in the mountain. So please do not kill me in the sea, because I want the wild animal in the mountain just see me. You want to be killed in the mountain, and at the moment the demon just pulled the champion in the sea. In the sea, he took out his sword, started to fight with the wild animals in the sea, and started to swim to find his way. And then he came out from the sea, saved by his wisdom. And at the moment, he was looking for his horse. Raksh, oh, Rakshaman! He named the horse and then found the horse, took his rope and just bring the horse to himself, rode on his horse, and he went to find the demon again. The demon thought that the champion is dead. So he was feeling relaxed on the ground. And again at the moment, the champion took his rope and just bring him and grabbed the demon. At the moment that he grabbed the demon, he just killed with his goers once, twice, and 3 times, and the Damon was killed. And what was the message of the story from Shahnameh for us? Ferdowsi says, demons are not something away from our life. Demons are like people. Their appearance is like people sometimes, but you should find who is human and who is demon. Because human care about human. They know about God. They know about peace and being kind. So whoever do not care about peace, do not care about people, is a demon. And that was my story for you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kanipaka mafuta halafu akaniambia niziepuse na saitani.
Na ukakubali?
Si hiyo nitakubali. Wewe unaweza kataa masaa.
Wewe.
Paka
mafuta Wewe sikia.
Kwani alikuwa akipakwa mafuta akipigwa.
Sasa si vile nilisikia ati anatolewa mapepo.
Ulipakwa mafuta mwili mzima?
Mwili mzima. Na nikaambiwa nisioge mpaka maombi ifike mbinguni.
Kawera.
Yes.
Uliingia hiyo kanisa? Ndio unitoe sapiu.
Wewe.
Ukampaka mafuta. Huyo ni mama.
Which side is the Pacific?
Wewe.
Kila kona.
He tortured you, didn't he? I've done this to a lot of people, but there is no way I'm going to let him leave this door. He's going to know who Jamal really is.
What are you not telling me?
Baraza is trying to frame us. That's it. Listen, this is my house. You're the one who needs to leave. So get out now.
This is my father's house, and you need to come with us right now.
Come with you where? Come with you where, Paul? And if I don't, what will you do? What exactly will you do? Do not come near. You need to leave me alone.
Want to delve on a conversation about generational patterns, generational altars.
Pia kwetu tumekwambia tumezaliwa tukiwa 6. Mimi number 5. Being number 5 wenye walikuwa mbele yangu hawako wamemaliza shule. Number 1 after kufika class 7 alitoroka actually akaenda Somalia kutafuta life. Yeah, number 2 6. So unaona tunakuja kama tunarudi chini kutoka class 7. Huyu mwingine second born akadropia akiwa class 6. Third born ndiye alijaribu sana akadrop akiwa class 3.
Class 3.
Yeah, class 3.
Na wazazi wako wanaleta noma nini.
After amechapa mtu huyu akaenda, niliamkanga tu nikaketi chini nikaambia God, if at all it's your will, niendelee kukaa kwa hii marriage, wacha nijue leo. Sasa Mungu ameniambiaje? Kalenga kubwa. So that's how I left. Na ni mbio, asifikirie kuja kwa nyumba kuja pata unapaka. Yutani itakuwa tuna story nyingine mbaya. Mimi na feel something would have been done back then. Maybe kama prayers wange dig deep, hii kitu ingetuokolea kina sisi sasa. So hiyo kitu nilionanga na hii kitu yenye jumilo nime-identify hiyo shida. So nisiposimama nivunje, hakuna mwenye ataivunja.
Katika Qur'an tukufu Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anatuamuru tukumbushane, kwani kukumbushana kunawafaa waumini. Kwa mujibu wa hadithi, Mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam anatushauri tueneze ujumbe wake angalau kwa aya moja. Basi tunatia ari kufanya ambacho ni jukumu la kila Muislamu, kukumbushana mema na kukatazana maovu. Tunakuletea mawaidha za mashehe, wataalam, maustadh, madrasa, Makala spesheli na Okti Fatuma Yakub, mafunzo na historia za mitume na maswahaba, na burudani kupitia nashid na wasifu za munshid. Tazama Ukumbi wa Kiislamu nami Alishe kila Ijumaa saa 9:30 katika KBC Channel 1.
For your loving, hakuna vile nina hope ita turn to something. Baby boy, don't you know this? Hakuna haja ya kurush na it turn to nothing. Baby boy, umenimada, nimechizi nimekuwa kama fada. Tangu nikucheke niko rada, nikiwa nawe baby busiwezi kwaya. Zile za mkisija. Hold me down, tell me you gon' be right. Niwe nataka tu, niwe nawe tu. Higher, higher, niwe upiga nikufaya. Usijui vile unanifanya, si lazima hawashike rada. Of every lonely place, every presence was so pressed, but I was overthinking again. All I wanted was to be yours. All I wanted was your love. Didn't realize I was out of place. All the pity got me. Gotta move on now, gotta move on now. Broken hearts are meant to love again. But if this is love, I don't think that I can wait. Broken hearts are meant to love again. Every time I try, give me a reason not to try again.
On the beat.
Play the music that flows in my heart, moving me swiftly from side to side. When I see your eyes, I see the light. Got me having butterflies when you put in the smirk. Yeah, they say you're too hot for my coldness. They say you're too strong for my weakness.
Hey, hey, hey. Oh my goodness. Hey, sauti ya kutoa nyoka pangoni, I tell you.
Nyoka ataingia atarudi kwa pango. Pango arudi.
Hey, Mora. Your music is just mimi kusema tu kweli, I just love it. I love it. And in case you don't know who Mora is, then you are about to find out. I know she's not new here on Entertainment Thursday, and she has a new song out which she is promoting inaitwa Pedi. But before we even get to that, let her introduce herself.
Hi guys.
Hi.
I'm Mora. I'm a creative entrepreneur. I'm a singer, songwriter, dancer, and content creator. And I'm really honored to be here today. Yeah.
Karibu sana. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
How are you?
Crazy.
Nakuona tu uko NGC, you know, ukipostiwa uko doing covers here and there. You're doing well.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so maybe you can just tell people what you do. Okay, you've told us that you are a creative, you do music. Umesahau wewe ni student pia. Ama
nimemaliza shule.
Umemaliza shule?
Yeah.
Enyewe hatujaonana for long.
Yeah, I'm already done with school.
Niko nje. Yeah, all right. So how has music been for you of late?
Okay, of late, music has been really crazy because I've been in the process of creating because I'm working on my second album. So I've been having studio sessions back to back, just creating and trying to get new music out. Yeah, that's just it.
Yani Mora amedecide anataka kutupatia a second album na hajatupatia visuals za the first album zote. I'm not happy about that. So when are the visuals of the first album coming out before you even get to the second one?
Okay, so music is super expensive. First of all, music is super expensive. So I'm thinking rather than investing back on like old music, how about I invest in giving you good visuals for the new music? That's my plan.
But I usually see as well that, you know, when an artist does an album, they normally don't do visuals for the whole album. Like you will just pick the fan favorite songs and then you do the visuals for that, and then hizo zingine tutakuwa tunasikia ka audio, right? Yeah. Okay, so talk to us about your second album.
Okay, so my second album right now, it's already halfway. I already have 20 unreleased songs. Yeah, I already have 20, but I'm targeting 25.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm targeting
20. That's a record.
I'm targeting 25 so that I can pick the best out of 25, 14 out of 25.
Okay.
Because I want premium bangers. So right now I'm already halfway, and it's a really crazy experience because I'm showing you guys that this is not the young Mora anymore. I am evolved, I have grown, I have matured. So like, it's crazy. It's not anything that you guys are expecting from me because the only work you guys have had from me is from like 2 years ago. So like, this is something new, something fresh, something evolved. Get ready, get ready.
What is the inspiration behind the second album? I remember when the first album came out, you know, there was the dark side, the light side. It was all about love, heartbreak and everything. So this other one, now that you're saying you're grown, you know, the sound has changed and everything. So what is the inspiration about? What are the songs about?
The inspiration of this album is just me finding myself and seeking solitude with myself and just embracing each and every part of me, the dark side, the good side, the soft side, and it's just me expressing myself and explaining how life has been taking me since higher, how things have been going since higher. It's just me explaining to you guys what's been happening after higher.
What has been happening?
Crazy things are happening. Crazy things are happening.
Ama tungoje tusikie kwa album.
Mtasikia tu. Relax.
Acha tukue patient. You said that you're targeting 25 songs, 14 songs. Is Mbali part of the song?
Okay.
And Pedi as well?
Okay, Pedi will be. Pedi will be in the album. But I'm not thinking Mbali. No, I don't think it will get into that vibe. Yeah, but there are some serious jams that are on the way. Kwanza, I have this one I've been listening to. Kwanza, while I was coming here, it's called Che. Oh my goodness. Get ready because it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I've been really working my ass off and things are gonna be running crazy.
Yeah.
Get ready.
So I've seen you doing something new on your socials. I don't know if we should call them covers, but you just record yourself singing along to music that you know you like. I'm assuming that is music you like from Kenyan artists. Is that a strategic thing that you are doing?
Yeah.
Because you know, courtesy of that, you know, ukishaikwa pale NGC tunajua we my friend. Mimi nimemake it. Ama ni aje?
Kweli.
Si ndio?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a strategy. I have not been active as much because I was trying to focus on school. Nimalize in style, you know. So I was trying to focus a bit. So because of not being able to juggle both social media and my studies, I went back a bit and my videos were not doing as well. So I was trying to look for a strategy to grow my page because I'm targeting 100,000 before the album so that it will be easy to market for me. So using those covers to like garner an audience and add followers so that when the time is right, I'll be like, yo, I have my own, something is coming out, get ready, yeah.
Get ready. Yeah, so I think that is a really good strategy. Plus, your voice is beautiful. So hata nikisikiza song umefanya ya sauti, so I feel like, okay, this is a new vibe. I like it, and I'm gonna listen to it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let me take you back to the album. Are there any collaborations that you have done with? Unaweza tupatia basi tumengoja tutangoja tuone nini iko kwa album, but at least you can tell us, is there any collaboration that
since Higher I've not seen any collab from her, so I don't know your part hata mimi nilikuwa nataka kuuliza swali.
So I'm not much of a collaboration person. I like just investing into my art. Like, ukisikiza dobo unasema udem ni mnoma, si eti nani ameweka hiyo verse alafu
ikakuwa kali.
Fulani alikill.
I like investing into my art, but for this album I have some collaborations.
Yeah.
Some big, something big is on the way, but I can list a couple of names. I have done a song with Genesis. Ikitoka. Ikitoka. I have a song with Genesis. I have a song with Lifa. There's just some big collaborations.
Yeah.
There might be also some international ones. So stay tuned.
We are sorry.
Stay tuned.
We are sorry.
Stay tuned.
So when you say that you are not into collaborations, don't you think that is... It's important to have collaborations.
Yeah, it
but
is.
tumeona pia wasanii mtu amekolabo na mtu and then amefunikwa. But I think I've talked to enough artists wengine wanasemanga it's okay so long as we are both winning, it's fine.
Okay, for me it's not a matter of competition. I'm a like kukavaiwa. It's just a matter of the relationship I have with my music. It's so deep that sometimes I get a bit selfish with it. Like for example, I can't. It's really hard for me to do a song that someone has written for me. I like connecting with my art. I like just feeling myself through my songs. So sometimes you might send a song to someone and the vibe you're looking for, they don't give you that vibe. So I don't like disappointments, and the music is such a close thing to my heart, so I just like avoiding disappointments. But I've been really open since Higher. I've been really open, and I'm hoping to work with some passionate people. Yeah.
So tukiona umekolabo wenyewe
umse anapenda music.
They're not just doing it for fun. Unatafuta.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Mora, if I know you've said that you're not a collabo person, but if you were to get a chance to do a collabo with one artist in Kenya, moja tu, them and like a lady and a man, who would it be?
I have names.
Okay, then give us names. At least Basi.
First of all, Bien. Yo.
Okay,
if I get that collaboration, it's over for you. There are a couple of names. I have a whole list. Nikita Kering, Bridget Blue, Njerai, Ben Soul, Nviri. I have a lot of names. Oh my goodness, they're even getting lost. There's EXO, there's Mudoka, there's Kinoti, there's who else? Ochiko. There are a lot of names. There is a lot of talent out here.
All those people that you have mentioned, you want to piano vibe, R&B, smooth music, and I feel like right now in Kenya, we are embracing that type of
That's
music.
true.
Because
That's
kitambo, okay, maybe kitambo kidogo, it was there, but sai people are embracing it a lot. Like you'll find people going to sing alongs, utapata watu, they are loving the R&B vibe. What do you think shifted?
I think people started working hard. Kitambo people used to just release music and relax. People right now are pushing their music. They are going to greater heights to just push their music, and it's getting out there, and people are starting to see like, oh, these artists are working hard. This is something that is actually worth listening to. And people are starting to like fall in love with the music and starting to embrace it as much. Because Kitambo people are not as pushing as much. Ulikuwa unatoa music video, unaambia tu watu pale kwa links, yo simtaangalia, and then una relax. But now people are like going really hard with pushing their music through social platforms, through promotions, through a lot of stuff. People are really working hard. Kwanza this year,
Watu wako busy. Do you think social media is playing a huge part?
Yes. Yes, I think so. For me, I think social media is the platform that has made me reach here today.
Okay, what about school for you? Do you feel like it also helped play a part in pushing your music?
Yeah, I think so. I think so because the population of my school, my former school right now, was like around 8,000. So imagine people know me from Maseno, and when I'm Biana, hey, Mora ametua Adoba, I will garner some views, some big number of views from there. And I think school is really important because it gives you the sense of belonging. People will say like, hey, ule mora shule yetu, and they'll share the link saying, ule mora shule yetu. So when you tell someone ule mora shule yetu, they'll feel like they're close to that artist. Hey, ule beshitangwa ya jona na ule mora wa Maseno. You see, it gives you like a sense of belonging and a community. And that's really, really important.
As we wind up, tell us a bit about Pedi, because that is your newest song.
So I wrote Pedi a year ago. I was in studio and I was just praying to God to help me write a song that will surpass the expectations I had given people with higher. So I was just telling God, I need to give people something new and something that they love still. And I wrote that song a year ago, and I took time because I was having some financial issues. But in April, I found some good money, and I talked to my creative director, who is Reeves Elvis, and I told him, yeah, this is my idea. Do you think we can do this? And he was like, yeah. We shot that song in like a day. It was just a day. And we were just looking for some really, really crazy locations from my school. All that whole footage is from Maseno.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were just looking for some rare locations. We even had to seek permission from the school to shoot in the school farm. There's a scene there, it's the school farm. And it was just crazy. And I think God was just letting me do my thing despite like taking that whole break. He was telling me, yeah, you can get back to this. And it was super, super amazing. It was such a great experience, and I thank God that it's doing well.
Okay, so are we expecting another song from the album, ama a single song after Pedi?
Yeah, I'm thinking of that. I'm hoping that I had told people if we reach 10,000, I'm gonna drop something new. And right now we are at 8.3. I'm thinking. So kidogo easy. I have some fire jams. I'm thinking of dropping like 2 singles before the album. The album date is not very far. Not very far.
Okay.
So I'm thinking of dropping like some 2 singles, God willing.
So I want us to listen to Pedi, but before we do that, maybe you can tell people where they can find you on your socials so that they can know siku zenye ngoma zina drop na siku yenye album pia ina drop.
So guys, you can find me on Instagram at m.o.r_aa. It's just Mora. It's just that it's abbreviated. And on TikTok, you can find me at It's Me Mora. On YouTube, you can find me at Mora Valerie, Velarie. And on all DSPs, all distributing platforms, you can find me at Mora, simply just Mora.
Okay, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
And yeah, we are waiting for that music. I think I'm a big fan of your songs. I think nimejisikiza on repeat so many times. Mpaka I'm embarrassed kidogo.
You don't have to.
I'm a little bit embarrassed, but it's okay. Anyway, you're doing a good job, and I hope we'll keep getting good music from you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so up next is Pedi by Mora.
Je, umewahi kuwa na deni ya KRA? Basi usiwe na shaka. KRA wakishirikiana na KBC wamekuandalia roadshow murwa kabisa. Jiunge nasi tukufahamishe kuhusu KRA Tax Amnesty Program na jinsi utakavyoweza kusamehewa adhabu na riba na KRA. Pia tutakuwa tunakusaidia kujaza fomu za kodi za mwaka 2024 na kukusaidia na huduma za KRA kwa mtaa wako. Ijumaa tarehe 6 na Jumamosi tarehe 7 mwezi Juni tutakuwa na mobile clinic Kilifi pale Pwani University. KRA, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
Hey Dad, you need to take that girl to hospital. She's not eating, she's not speaking, she just stares blankly at one point.
Sasa unatakaje? Utaishi hivi mpaka lini?
Are you okay? Well, is there a time that you're ever in essentials?
But why is it that I have a strong feeling maybe you're meeting somebody serious?
You know you're very interesting, Mark. Why exactly would I be meeting someone?
They say the earth without art would just be get it? We circumnavigate the globe and traverse the local scene to bring you art and culture at their very best. From fine art, culinary art, performing arts, and even cultural events, you name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki, and I will be serving you this and much, much more each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Katika Qur'an tukufu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anatuamuru tukumbushane, kwani kukumbushana kunawafaa waumini. Kwa mujibu wa hadithi, Mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam anatushauri tueneze ujumbe wake angalau kwa aya moja. Basi tunatia ari kufanya ambacho ni jukumu la kila Muislamu, kukumbushana mema na kukatazana maovu. Tunakuletea mawaidha za mashehe, wataalam, maustadh, madrasa, makala spesheli na Ukti Fatuma Yakub, mafunzo na historia za mitume na maswahaba, na burudani kupitia nashid na wasifu za munshid. Tazama ukumbi wa Kiislamu nami Alishe kila Ijumaa saa 9:30 katika KBC Channel 1.
Have it any other way. To you I made a promise, only party now my day. Open your doors, ndani ya roho, siwezi kutoka mpenzi. You take me higher, 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 my baby. You take me higher, 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 my baby. Boo, unani overdose. Halo, halo, nimekuja na tangazo. Muoneni kwa macho, amenifunga milango ya roho yangu mama. Girl, I wanna show you off, show you off, show you off. Una finish kumalo. Girl, I wanna show you off, show you off, show you off.
Hey, tungetaka tuendelee na, you know, I want to show you off, lakini we need to learn about theatre and a very special program that is reaching out to people huko ndani ndani, you know, mashinani, and ensuring that hizi talanta tumeziona huku mbele. So with me right about now, I have Kevin Kimani, who is the manager of programs and business development at Kenya Cultural Center, who will be telling us about the program that they have rolled out, has been rolled out, but they are rolling it out in Kiambu, in Itwa County Theatre Fiesta, and a beautiful lady by the name Irene, who is a participant of the said program. So I'm going to give Kevin the chance to introduce himself first, and then Irene next. Kevin, karibu sana.
Thank you very much. My name is Kevin Kimani Kahuro. I'm the Programs and Business Development Manager at Kenya Cultural Center. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Irene, introduce yourself.
My name is Irene Munene, a children's author and a theatre artist. Currently a participant at the County Theatre Fiesta, exploring marketing theatre arts.
Okay, nice. Karibuni sana on set. Yeah, so of course, I know we cannot talk about theatre na nisikuwe ninaongelesha watu wamekuwa kwa theatre before. Yes. So Kevin, maybe just give us a brief background of you being on theatre, performing in different stages, and directing as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. I started theatre when I was very young. I think maybe around between 5 and 10 years. Church theatre and all that. Did it at high school, did it at the theatre, then went to KU and did my degree in theatre arts and film. Again, did my master's in theatre arts, and but then since that I shifted into the management of theatre. So I can say I'm an arts manager. Right now I'm the founder of the Kenya International Theatre Festival. Also now working at the Kenya National Theatre as the manager of programs and business development, basically developing strategies, programs to support the development of theatre arts in the country. Yes, so that's who I am. That's how I've grown into theatre. Theatre is my first love.
All right, interesting. Irene, what about you?
Well, just like Kevin, I started my theatre journey, or rather performing arts journey at 5 years.
Yani mlikuwa mnajua hizi vitu kitambo hivyo.
Yeah, my first performance when I was 5 was at KICC. Yes.
Okay.
And from there, I have worked towards being a better performer, understanding the theatre spectrum at large. Therefore, I did did drama in high school, and then I did theatre arts degree program at Kenyatta University. And yeah, I also am a children's author. I have tried exploring stage management, and yeah, theatre is all about learning. So currently, I'm learning how to market theatre work.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So Kevin, you've said that you are the founder of
Kenya International Theatre Festival.
Okay.
Yes,
all right. So and you're also part of the County Theatre Fiesta. So tell us a bit about that and why you felt that it was important to have such a program.
Thank you. So County Theatre Fiesta is a program meant to build capacity for grassroots theatre companies outside Nairobi. So we've been doing the Kenya Theatre Awards for the last 4 years now, and we collect data as to what performance is being done, what space, which county, and 95% of theatre activities in Kenya at any given year take place in Nairobi. And therefore we also collect few data. You find that there is quite a number like 1%, 2%, 0.1% in all these counties. And therefore we felt we need to elevate their capacity for them to reach where Nairobi is. And you know, when you are developing something, you start with the software before you get to the hardware. So this program is meant to build the software, and the software is building capacity of those who are practicing theater at the various counties. And this, the first time we did, this is the second time we are doing it as County Theatre Fiesta, though we started it long time ago, trying to go to county, knowing what people in the county are doing in terms of theatre, bringing international artists to those counties, basically to elevate and to motivate these people to know that theatre is a good profession, is a profession that pays, is a profession like any other. But now in the last 2 years, what we've done is develop a curriculum, go to the county, invite theatre groups who are practicing. They may not be practicing purely acting. Some are practicing, as you've heard, children's performances. Some are into dance, some are into cultural dances, some are into contemporary. So what we try to do is, some are into storytelling, is to bring these people together, because all these forms are theatre. We build their capacity, we teach them on how to do a professional script, how to manage their performance, how to act, how to direct, how to stage manage, how to produce, you know, how to market that work, so that at the end of the day, they're able to produce a professional work that can be staged anywhere in the world, not just in the country, anywhere in the world. And then what we do from there is that we take the best trainers, best practitioners who are practicing in theatre, so that those are the people we go to train them with, those who have vast experience in these things, those who have excelled in Nairobi, but not only Nairobi, but also internationally. We go to the counties, we teach them, we stay there for like 9 days, we train them on all these areas. These are very practical, very practical. Like yes, it's like a boot camp, very practical. At the end of the last 3 days, each group is expected to put up a performance, a ticketed performance, so that they also earn from their talent, and all the ticket sale goes to them. It's not so that they get a taste of what it means to put up a professional and the benefit of it. And then out of the teams that we train, we then select one that will come to the National Theatre to perform during the Kenya International Theatre Festival. So it's a capacity building program, and also at the same time, at the end of it all, we aim to expose them to the national stage, national platform, come interact with international artists who come to perform at the Kenya International Theatre Festival.
So how many counties have you done so far?
The program is going to 15 counties this time. So we've started, we are on the 4th county right now. So we are going to 15 counties, but training in 6 venues. So what we are doing is we are combining counties in one venue. So in Nakuru, we had Nakuru as a training venue, but we hosted artists from Nakuru and from Narok. Right now we are in Kiambu. We are holding it in Nairobi, at Nairobi Institute of Music and Performing Arts, but we are hosting artists from Kiambu and Nyeri. So that's how we are combining. Next we'll go to Eldoret, where we'll be hosting artists from Wasingishu and Trans Nzoia. After that we'll go to Kisumu, where we'll be hosting before Kisumu we'll go to Embu, where we'll be hosting artists from Embu and Machakos. And then after that we'll go to Kisumu, where we'll be hosting artists from Kisumu, Migori, Siaya, Homa Bay and Kakamega. And then we finish in Mombasa, where we'll be hosting artists from Mombasa, Kwale and Lamu. So in total we'll be hosting 15 counties, but hosting them in 6 counties. Yes.
All right. So Irene, which county are you from?
I am from Kiambu County, yes, representing Dance Varsity Network.
Yes, all right. So how has this program benefited you?
It has benefited me in so many ways, being I have done theatre arts before, and now I'm getting to see whatever we were being taught in school. Almost the same thing, but now here it's more practical and it's more engaging, because it's sort of one-on-one experience, because we have like production design. There's someone, let me say it's sort of an intimate class, so the production designer will take you through like every aspect of production design. When it comes to marketing, we have been taken through all aspects of marketing. And we have been guided on maybe the know-hows, what we need to know. You know, marketing is large, but how do you narrow down
like
to
narrow it down to
theater, and theater works. So basically it's more of a very engaging and intimate program, where also there are starters. You see, as he has mentioned, it's mostly to reach out to the common wananchi, let me use that, because most of them, maybe they've not interacted with the professional setup of theater. So in the program, as far as now, we are preparing our performances in a very professional way.
Okay.
Yes, where all the crew, like members, have been taught how to execute whatever is supposed to be executed according to their production or according to their performance. Yes.
So like it's just giving, you know, theater a more professional touch and making sure that you can, the way he said, you can actually earn a living from it and show you that it's possible.
Yes.
Yeah. So Kevin, you've talked about 15 counties. Why 15 counties?
No, I think 15 because we've tried to reach as many counties as we can with the little resources that we have.
Okay.
We've tried to be as inclusive as possible, to also be balanced in terms of regional. So you'll find that maybe it's only Northeastern that we've not touched, the bit of Northeastern, but we've tried to sample at least every county from each region. And why we are doing this, because we feel that in this day and age where creative economy is on the rise, we have to position theater artists to be up there, to take advantage, because we are very rich in terms of culture, in terms of storytelling, and we have people who yearn for content, you know, and theater is one of those art that gives you a one-on-one, you know, not like TV, not Netflix, you know. With theater you are able to be immersed. And that's why we are trying as much as possible. And what we are doing, and as Irene has said, is that we have people who've never gone to any theater class. We have people who don't know theater. We have people who know theater as just acting. Like most people know theater as just being on stage and acting, you know. But theater has so many components. And what we are doing, we are calling for a group that has 10 people. Maximum, because of resources again. And what we are doing is that one of the people has to be a stage manager. There has to be a production designer who is in charge of designing costumes, hair and makeup and the set. We have to have a person who is doing script writing. We have to have a person who is doing marketing. We have to have a person people who are at least 2 or 3 who are doing acting. We have to have a person who is doing directing. And then is there anything I'm leaving? Yes. And what we're doing is that once we have these people, there is what is on book, what is written as a curriculum, and then there is also what is done in the industry. So we've sat down with these trainers who are industry practitioners, and we've developed something that will give a hands-on in 9 days, more of a crash program, crash course, that in 9 days we're able to give you a lot of information, very practical, that you're supposed to use in your performance at the end of the program.
So these people, you know, the stage manager, script writer, are they the same people who are acting?
Not really, not really. Some may act, some may find themselves acting, but what we are trying, because of the limited number we are allowing of only 10 people, you'll find that some have to act. Maybe the script writer will have to act, you know, but there are people we are discouraging from acting. Like, for example, we are discouraging the stage manager to be on stage, because you see, at some point you'll have to be stage managing. So these are the challenges we are facing, because maybe as the group was coming, you'll find the person they have dedicated to be the stage manager is one of their best actors.
Their best actors. Okay.
So those are the things that we're also trying to see and navigate. Again, these are challenges we face on the ground. We know how to handle them on the ground. We have professional trainers who are finding the best ways out of that. And also something else that we're also training them that is not theater is entertainment law and wellness. So because as artists we suffer a lot from mental health, you know, so we are trying to talk to them. They are being told, what do you need to do to also take care of yourself as an artist? And also number 2, we're looking at entertainment law. What are the laws? What are the policies that are in place? What are the issues of copyright that you need to be compliant with? How do you do a contract, for example? You know, you you may not be a lawyer, but you need to understand a contract as an artist. So those are the things that we're also handling, so that when we leave you, you have the capacity to go out there and earn from the art you're doing. And that's how we, I think in our small way as Kenya Cultural Center and as the Kenya International Theatre Festival Trust, we're trying to ensure that we're able to create job opportunities. We're able not to give people fish, but to teach people how to fish.
Yeah. Irene, so in your group, what role are you playing?
I am the marketer. Yes, I'm doing marketing for my group. My group is Dance Varsity Network. We are a group of dancers, well, alumni dancers from KU. All of us are graduates of theatre arts. So we realized there's a gap in dance as a genre in theatre, and so we chose to try, let me say, we take the risk. Yeah, because also we realized dance in Kenya doesn't pay professionally unless you go to those studios. But we forget in school, we learned dance choreography as part of a theatre performance. So we've tried to come up with how do we sell dance as a genre, and how do we earn from it as professionals as well in terms of theatre, because where are we staging it? In the theatres. We don't want to stage it outside, like we don't want to be like any other dancer. Is there a way that Kenyans can identify like theatrical dances? Yes, that's our group, and that's what we are trying to bring up, or rather introduce also to Kit Fest, so that by the end of it, as a marketer, I'll have learned how to not only market any other play, like, you know, people, when you tell people to come for plays, they will be quick to come. But
dance?
If dance, yes.
I'll be like,
like, you'll, of course, you'll expect, if I tell you we are doing a dance performance, you'll expect like just a common. You can,
and something short.
Yes. But now this is a whole 30 minutes on stage, purely dancing. There's no talking, there's no acting, just dance and telling a story through the dance.
That's new, that's interesting. I'd love to see that.
You're welcome. We'll be staging it on Saturday.
On Saturday?
Yes, 6
so
p.m.
tell us a bit about that.
Okay, so there are several performances that have been lined up by CTF, that is County Theatre Fiesta. Starting on Friday. There are shows on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So there are 2 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Maybe I can just mention all of them and then end with
yours.
Mine. So there's Roots of the Forgotten by Keira. There's Nina Juta by Ndumberi Arts. And maybe if I can touch on that, maybe what he doesn't know, or what we have experienced on ground, is people like Ndumberi Arts is a group of wamamas, like elder people with like Gen Zs. They've come together to do a show. For me, that was so exciting and interesting. So they're having a show called Nina Juta. There's the Whispers from Itos.
So this is a mixture of dance and plays?
Yes.
It's all forms of theatre.
All
so
forms
again,
of theatre,
as I said, we're not selecting only one type, because there are various forms of theatre. There are people who do normal texts. We stand on stage, we talk, you know, there's conversation, there's movement, there's dance, what they are doing, telling story through dance.
We actually had a storyteller in the morning.
There are poets. There are poets who perform a theatrical piece, like a whole hour that is poetry. So there are various. There are people who will do puppets. So we are open to all forms of theatre, and that's why there is quite a variety. Yes.
Okay. So we have Itos. Itos production is from Nyeri, and they are bringing the Whispers. We have Grind and Vibes, also they're from Nyeri, and they're university students, and they're bringing Ashes of Honor. And then we have Piatis production, which is coming in with a decade of cultural chaos. And then we have the Beatitude Group of Arts, which is coming in with a decade of connecting cultures. And then finally, us, Dance Varsity, we're bringing to you Silent Uprising. Yes.
Okay.
And from the performances I've mentioned, trust me, all of them, from the training we've received, they will be different.
Yeah.
If they've ever been performed somewhere, if anyone that has watched them, maybe in Dumberi, comes to Nimpa to watch them this weekend, there is a difference. Yeah, because there's that impact that has been put in the performance and the
Courtesy
execution.
of the crash course.
Yes, courtesy of County Theatre Fiesta. And I'll say it's very simple and easy to capture the professionalism in theatre. Only if you're open to learn. Yes.
Okay. Kevin, maybe you can share a few success stories that you've gotten from, you know, the program.
Yeah. No, there are very many. If I were to mention all of them. So the first time we did it professionally, like the way we are doing it, moving to 6 counties, was in 2023. Yes. And I'll tell you right now, we have people working at the National Theatre who are lighting expert, working for lights, who are part of the County Theatre Fiesta. We have one of the stage managers who is hired for the festival, and any activity we have as a festival was a participant of this program. We have people who have even gone outside the country because they were part of the County Theatre Fiesta. We have people who are excelling. We have introduced a new crop of people who have been trained through this program, who are now in production design. Like I remember the production designer trainer saying that right now she has multiple artists working in 6 different sets, and 50% of those people working a set in a film, a set in a theatre performance, 50% of those people are people she trained from this program. So these are people we've trained, and out of the training they have gotten, they have gone on into the industry and are earning from it. So it's a very good program which we feel is building the capacity of artists not only from Nairobi, which is the main purpose. Right now, go to Kisumu, you'll find a lighting expert, you'll find a stage expert, you'll find a production designer, you'll find a very good actor, very good director, and also the networking that we give them, because we bring the best in the industry, you know, and then they are interacting with people who aspire. For example, I remember in Kiambu, I met a gentleman who is a professor, a theatre professor from the US, and we brought him, and he was able to share experiences with the participants, and what they were sharing are people, different contexts, different continents, but same experiences, and what the kind of questions they were asking, the feedback they were giving. There are people who are destined for more success, and I believe, and the moment we give them an opportunity to also come at the festival, we take the best who have also been to come and work at the festival and earn a living. So there is something also, and a lot of these groups, from the time we train them, they have all gone on to secure grants. One of the group we trained from Nakuru is currently touring the entire country, taking their performance to 6 different counties, you see, and these are people we trained. They are now grown as a group, as a production company. They are staging their production in Kisumu. I think this weekend they're in Kisumu. They'll be coming to Sarakasi. They'll be performing at Alliance. They'll be performing in Mombasa. So these are very good success stories that we are witnessing, and we are very happy of what this program is able to do. Yes.
All right, so if there's someone who is watching right now and they would want to be part of the program the next time, maybe in the next county that you are taking it to, how would they learn about it?
So they should go to Kenya Cultural Center website and the Kenya International Theatre Festival website. All information about when we are going, how we are going. Unfortunately, application is already closed because we made application where all groups had an opportunity to participate, and then we have selected.
Okay.
So all groups that have been selected,
already? Okay.
They are preparing now for their performances. And the beauty is that, say right now we are training 7 groups, 5 groups from Kiambu and 2 groups from Nyeri. One group from Kiambu will get an opportunity to come to the National Theatre, and one group from Nyeri will get an opportunity to come. Already we have 2 who have qualified from Nakuru and Narok. And then at the end of it all, we'll have 15 performances representing Kenya at the Kenya International Theatre Festival. Yeah.
All right. So you've closed applications right now for Kiambu and Nyeri.
Yes. For all counties.
Oh, for all counties.
For all counties.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
but they can follow up so that the next time the application process is open, they can learn about it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Right. So Irene, maybe you can say a word to somebody who is a theatre lover, they love to perform, and encourage them to join the program the next time.
To any theatre lover, let me put it that way, because you know there are people who love theatre but they don't know how to utilize that love for theatre. I would really encourage you to take part or apply for these programs, County Theatre Fiesta. And now that the applications are closed, they shouldn't shy away from attending Kenya International Theatre Festival, because the moment they attend Kenya International Theatre Festivals, they will come to interact with the trainers, some of us. They will watch performances, and I believe from watching the performances, they will also grasp something, and so that next time they will be having like something to look forward to and apply. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to know it all. You don't have to know anything at all, actually. Come as you are. We will learn together, and those who already know, we will unlearn to learn again, because there are always new things coming in the theaters, and times are changing. We also have to shift to the current. So engaging in such programs kind of helps you to be on the timeline. You're always at par with what is happening. So I encourage you to apply next time. And before next time comes, attend Kenya International Theatre Festival. Yes, so that you can experience what we have learned. And next year, when the applications are open, maybe I can say the applications are always aired, or rather available on their Instagram page. That's where personally I found it.
Okay.
Yes. So as long as you follow them on Instagram, that is KitFest KE and Kenya Cultural Center, you'll always be informed.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. One more time, maybe Kevin, you can remind them the dates when the festival is happening, and and you give them your socials as well.
Yes, so I think for now is also to encourage people to come this weekend. I think that's where I'll start us.
Is there an entry fee?
Yes, it's ticketed. These people have to earn from what they are doing. I think the highest ticket is 500.
Yes.
So it's very affordable. There are some tickets even going for 200. The distance is very close. Is Zimmerman, is Nairobi Institute of Music and Performing Arts. I think when you're using a mat, you alight at Canopy. When you're driving, just Google Nairobi Institute of Music and Performing Arts and you'll get there. Support them. Friday 4 p.m, 6 p.m, Saturday 2 p.m, 4 p.m and 6 p.m. I think Sunday is 4 p.m and 6 p.m. Let's come out in good numbers and support these people who are really doing an amazing job. Let's encourage them so that they can continue earning from what they are doing. The festival happens every November, so this year the festival is happening from the 4th to the 16th. We are celebrating 10 years of the festival. We'll be hosting the festival at the National Theatre and 10 other venues, because it's 10 years, so it will be having 10 venues.
Different counties?
No, in Nairobi, 10 venues in Nairobi. And of course, we'll be hosting at least a production from each continent. So far, we have, I think, selected over 15 international participants who are coming to Kenya that time. So it's an actual international festival where there's everything for everyone, from children's theatre, puppetry, older theatre. We're doing it all. Come, enjoy, let's support the arts. These people from the counties will also be performing, so it will be a heaven of art, a heaven of theatre, where we have everything for everyone. Look out on our pages, Kenya Cultural Center, Kenya International Theatre Festival. I think we are on social media on all those names, Kenya Cultural Center, on incorporating the National Theatre on Facebook.
Yeah.
On Twitter is Kenya Cultural Center. On Instagram is KE Cultural Center. And then Kenya International Theatre Festival, again, is the name across all platforms.
Okay.
So we are very accessible. All our information is all on our social media platforms. Yes. And for me, you can follow me on as Kevin Kimani Kahuro on all my social media platforms.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for making time to join us.
Thank you for
and
having
all
us.
the best.
Thank
during
you.
your performance on Saturday over the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, and please, guys, go support theatre. Go purchase the ticket and enjoy. You know, let's support our very own. And in case you wanna be part of it, you know what to do. Go on social media and keep up with the information that will be released. Yeah. Thank you.
Halo, halo, nimekuja na tangazo. Muoneni kwa macho. Ameifunga milango ya roho yangu mama. Girl, I wanna show you up, show you up, show you up. Una finish kumalo. Girl, I wanna show you up, show you up, show you up. Una finish kumalo. No, no, no. Roho zimegongana. Ini ajali ya mapenzi. Si tulishapendana. Ananienzi na muenzi. Alivyoumbika mashallah. Katoto kenyota yani star. Kanaleta mwangaza. Sitaki kupoteza makita. Wachani ringi ya dunia. Halo, halo, nimekuja na tangazo. Muoneni kwa macho. Ameifunga milango ya roho yangu mama. Girl, I wanna show you up, show you up, show you up. Una finish kumalo. Girl, I wanna show you up, show you up, show you up. Una finish kumalo. Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy. Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy. I had to put my life on pause and follow you where you're going. And if I make you my business, I suffer no loss. Cause I'm in love and it's showing. No force, can't separate. Baby, no law, keep me away. I take you on tour. Pretty baby, I'll give you something to live for. My girl. Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy. Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy.
Slow down, baby, before you get my babies. You gon' make the man them go crazy. I guess I could check under me. Neza, wako kusikua mini. You say you wanna bam bam with me. You say you wanna chop my money. You say you wanna call me daddy. Oh, I can be a sugar daddy, mama. I can put you on top. Put you in the song. Yeah, baby, choke and choke, don't stop. Cause you're the sauce on top, baby.
Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy. Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy. Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy. Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy. I had to put my life on pause and follow you where you're going. And if I make you my business, I suffer no loss. Cause I'm in love and it's showing. No force, can't separate. Baby, no law, keep me away. I take you on tour. Pretty baby, I'll give you something to live for. My girl. Extra pressure,
baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy. Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy. Slow down, baby, before you get my baby.
Indeed, that was a very entertainment-packed entertainment Thursday. See what I did there? Umejibamba Unique.
Imekuwa fiti, imekuwa amazing sana. Thanks for, thank you for coming today.
Nikuja tena. Should I come again?
Kuja tena. Next
Haya.
Thursday.
Sawa, asante kwa kunikaribisha vizuri as well. I hope you enjoyed the show sana and everything that we had prepared for you. And yeah, you can find me on my socials at Nyaga_Eve in case you want to interact with me. And I'm looking forward to being here again because I've had a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to?
Yeah, I just want to tell my fans on tomorrow I'll be at Somerset Club iko pale Kilimani, so come tupige sherehe. I'll see you.
Yes, guys, have yourself an awesome long weekend. Take care of yourself because we hope to see you again next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye.
You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy. Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy, of course. You're killing the boy.
Niache nyashi pite boss kwani mini nugu. Sikosi nguvu baby girl mi ukula njugu. Bad to the bone lazima nikunywe supu. Shake that thing hadi upige marufuku. Kaende kifo cha mende. Unaninyonya kama maembe na tembe. Game bubu vitu zetu usiseme. Wacha wapati wakidhani kuna venye. Peleka juu, peleka chini. Usiogope kuu, rarua mini. Ikishika sana, toa ulimi. Zako zikipanda, cheza na nani.
Kibaridi cha asubuhi, kijua fani so kikali saa 5. Oh, Nairobi, 2015. Nikamchagua yeye, katikati ya wenzake watano. Nikamuomba kanio, ama moyoni Mungu nikampa moja. She's my number moja. Nikamuomba kaniomba namba, moyoni Mungu nikampa moja. My number moja. Yani namaanisha kwamba ndo tushawana. Tushawana. Ndo tushawana. Ndo tushawana.
Kamgapi statu na kulike mekuma kweni tatu digidha gidhinyasi agagwadu una ben cause alafu na raru piga statu inua mkono alafu cheza na mguu piga statu na kulike mekuma kama
life iko tunanapa. Nasimama cause uko na mimi. You never let me go. Mipaka yangu umeitanulia mbali. Even sky see your limit kwa ikibali. Hata haters wanashangilia kwa ndani. Umewawinga sina kingine mimi najivunia zaidi yako baba. Ndio maana niko tuli nimetulia. We unagabaya hata wale wananionea ushuda. Shabaya yao mbaya tapataje mambo umenifunika. Ure watataya. Cause I know that you got me where you got me. You got me where you got me. Baba, you got me where you got me. That's why I never fall in that. You got me where you got me. You got me where you got me. Baba, you got me where you got me. That's why.
Dunia nizamishe ama uniweke niishi peke yangu, kwani ninapomwamini kila binadamu mwishowe ananigeukia. Dunia nizamishe ama uniweke niishi peke yangu, kwani ninapomwamini kila binadamu mwishowe ananigeukia. Nimtazame nani, nimwamini nani? Nani wananigeukia? Vigeugeu wananigeukia. Namwamini daktari sana amponye rafiki yangu, anamweka kwenye life support machine, kumbe aliaga ni pesa na kusanya. Mama mzito anamwamini mkunga, mzalishie mtoto baada miezi 9. Mkunga anamgeukia, mtoto anamgeukia. Nikihaso juu chini ili nivuke boda, wananigeukia. 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 Nimtazame nani, nimwamini nani? Nani wananigeukia?
Are you thinking about your future? Saving through a registered retirement benefit scheme allows you to save up to 30,000 shillings every month tax-free, and investment income from the scheme is completely tax-exempt, meaning your money grows even faster, especially when you factor the power of compound interest. Withdrawals of retirement benefits are tax-exempt for retirees who reach retirement age as specified in scheme rules, retire early on grounds of ill health, or have been members of a scheme for at least 20 years. This tax exemption also applies in payment of retirement annuity and gratuity. Further, contributions you make to post-retirement medical funds are now tax deductible up to 15,000 shillings per month. This provides an immediate tax benefit and greater peace of mind for future healthcare needs. Remember, retirement benefits prevents old age poverty, offer emergency funds for illness or job loss, and offers financial protection to your dependents. Join a registered pension plan today. Reduce your tax burden and enjoy your retirement to the fullest. For more information, visit our website at www.rba.go.ke, call our toll-free line 0800-720-300 or email info@rba.go.ke. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits. The men and women in boots. Their core mandate: to defend and protect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Republic of Kenya. Their bravery knows no limits.
Make a man go through the wall without breaking the wall. Laziness, it is not in our vocabulary.
But what are their stories, their tales? Military Tales, every Saturday at 9 p.m. with Ben Troy Njoe.
He tortured you, didn't he?
I've
done this to a lot of people, but there is no way I'm going to let him leave this door. He's going to know who Jamal really is.
What are you not telling me?
Baraza is trying to frame us. That's it. Listen, this is my house. You're the one who needs to leave. So get out now.
This is my father's house, and you need to come with us right now.
Come with you where? Come with you where, Paul? And if I don't, what will you do? What exactly will you do? Do not come near. You need to leave me alone.
19 nations will compete in the Total Energies CAF African Nations Championship, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania 2024, which will be staged from 2nd to 30th August 2025. Amongst the 4 groups in the tournament A to D, Kenya is pooled in Group A, together with Morocco, Angola, DR Congo, and Zambia.
Algeria from the set piece, the header is on target, but it's...
This unique competition featuring the best locally based players from across the continent definitely has something for everyone. Just bring your A game as you let it flow live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.